Good morning.
For me, I'm a little bit tired, but at two times.
Hello.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning, Sherry.
Good morning, Eleanor. Hey, Eleanor, I just texted your mom. Do you have your personal checks printed out?
I don't know why, but you can let. You can let.
Because maybe I could work with you today on your checks, okay?
All right.
All right. And Andrew sounds like he's been up late and is looking a little silly.
That is true.
Are we going to make it through?
I hope so.
What do you mean you hope so? It's like, yes. And Jordan, I'm proud of you for coming when I thought maybe you would not.
I talked to Aunt Monty yesterday and told her that I might not be feeling good after today. And Aunt Monty was like, even if you don't feel good, you're still gonna do Zoom. I said so. I'm like,
Good.
I'm like,
Yeah. So Jordan, you might have noticed that you are overdrawn in your account. You didn't have enough money to pay your bills.
yeah. I know. Me, John, and Aunt Monty noticed that yesterday.
And that's because of too many absences, right? So I'm really glad to see you're here because, guys, if you go out there and you try to be independent in life and you get a job and you get all these bills and you decide to take all these days off, you're going to find yourself back at your parents' house real quick, right?
When that happens is when you go in the negative numbers in your bank and then you owe the bank more money.
Yeah, so then every check that they try to process, at first it costs you, I think, about $25 extra. And if you bounce too many checks, it goes up to like $35 extra. And you're just like basically throwing that money away. And Clad, good morning.
Good morning, Sherry.
I love your new location. It's just perfect. So it looks to me, when I look at, yeah, it's just nice and just, yeah. When I looked at your bank statement, I think that you're not being lazy. I think that you're having a little bit of trouble and you're not asking for help. Right? You talked about that in your speech too, right? That if a problem's too big, you could ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Use us. You have us, right? You got John and Yvonne and me, and if you're having any difficulties, please let us help you. That's what we're here for. Yes, Andrew?
Hey, Clyde, it's kind of like it's kind of like your presentation when you're talking about that you can rely on others to help you.
Yeah.
That's what she just said.
Yeah. I think.
And that's the plan. I'm going to use John today.
Good. Okay.
You gonna use me?
Yeah, I'm using you later today at 10:20.
Okay.
John's there in his mansion, you know. I don't know.
I know. I don't know what happens to my hand every time I go like, oh, there it is.
So I did pull up some of your budgets to look at, and I pulled up some of your interview questions to look at. So, you know, as long as I can figure out how to get to that toolbar up there, I have all sort of things. And Tyler, I also think you're not lazy, but you've done absolutely zero on your bank statement. It's blank. Why is that?
Sorry, I haven't done it yet.
Okay, because you're supposed to be doing these things, right? This isn't like a one-time assignment. You have visitors, huh, Eleanor?
Yeah.
This is something that you need to add to and write the checks as they're due. So right now, Tyler, you're showing that you haven't paid a bill at all, which, you know, if you have your roommates there and they're paying their bills and you're not paying theirs, are they going to think you're a very good roommate? Because
No.
you could get them all evicted even though they're paying their bills because you're not paying yours, right? You have to do your part in a roommate situation. It looks like it says you didn't need any help. Is this true? You've told your staff you don't need help with this?
Well, I think I know how to do it. I just kind of was focusing on other things.
You know, I'm not giving you all that much homework lately, correct? Compared to what you're all doing earlier in the year, right? And remember, when we offer these opportunities to do extra things, that they are extra things, and that you still need to do your part in the classroom. Okay?
Okay.
So think of that as roommates, all right? That you're letting them down. You might have moved in with two of your best friends ever and been so happy in your apartment, and they're like, dude, you're not paying your stuff. We're all going to get kicked out, and we're doing our part. So you got to do your part, okay?
Okay.
All right. So would you rather me share? Let's share a little bit of budgeting first, since that's what we were doing yesterday. And then we could look at some of the interview questions we have too. Okay?
Real quick, Sherry.
Yes.
I might have to have some help from Yvonne to do it.
Okay. For what? For your budgeting or your interview questions? Your budgeting?
Yeah.
Your bank statement? Okay. Okay, so that's what you gotta ask for help, and they're there to help you. Okay, and you already said that to me yesterday, Andrew, and you didn't have her until today. So you were letting me know what's going on, so that's a good thing. Okay, so I know you were just waiting for some help, and you communicated with me, and so you're doing your part there. Okay. All right. And Jonathan, when we get back in class, we'll get caught up. Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be able to come over today. So, but as soon as you get back in class, we'll get everything caught up. All right. And Eleanor, does Eleanor have one-on-one today? Okay. So Eleanor, do you want to work with me a little while on your personal checks?
Yes, please. I
Oh.
have my day. 101.
Check
Um,
one-on-one.
Yvonne.
Oh, you have one-on-one with Yvonne today?
No,
Not today.
my day and
Oh,
and
Monday. So
Yeah.
not this Monday, okay? So everyone realizes we are out for the week next week, correct?
on Friday. I have no 101.
Okay, but there's no classes next Monday or all week, okay?
Okay, all right.
Okay, and we'll have a new schedule sent before then. All right, so I'm sure that's
Oh.
something I'll be doing next week, is getting your schedules out. Stefan, I saw your hand. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that my auntie actually brought that up to me yesterday. That apparently Monday is a holiday.
The whole
But good
week,
to know we have
the whole week, Stefan.
The whole week?
Yep.
Yeah, it's good to know.
There is
Yeah.
no full program all next week, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Eleanor, that was your mom. She wants me to resend the personal checks, so I'll do that after class, okay? Whew, I don't feel lovely today, but hey, it's just Zoom verdict. All right.
Okay, all right.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share screen, and you may all have to talk me through it. We shall see what I can come up with. Okay, good. All that stuff's up there. And how do I move that? Here we go. All right. So I think these are, bank statements. Let me start with bank statements.
Yeah.
All right. And, I gotta make everything smaller here. It's too much stuff. Too much stuff. All right. So, Stefan, it looks like you had some help yesterday.
Yes, Miss Yvonne did a great job helping me, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it looks very nice. So let's all take a little look at Stefan's to start here. So where it says name, technically I am just the person that signs the checks. Who you get paid from is Project Search. So not a big deal, but just, so like I'm the employee of Project Search, basically, that's in charge of signing people's checks. So it should say Project Search, but not a big deal at all. All right. So It's no big deal. I'm just, and we're all doing this a little bit different, but that's okay. All right, so you did your deposit right on the 15th, and then you did your deposit on the 29th. Perfect. You added them together. One thing I would say when we get down to the apartments, please look at your spellings because that's not how the apartment is spelt. Okay, but I love how you even showed the negative, the minus sign for your $400. That was beautiful. Your math is great. And did we say RT was 65 or 55?
65, I was told.
Okay. All right. So excellent job. You just keep this going, okay?
Sherry?
Yes.
Okay, so on the bill list, it does say 65, but I remember there was a discussion in the class a couple of weeks ago about that, and I think it may have been changed to 55, which is why some of this.
You're breaking up. What do you all think it is? What is the real price, Tyler?
I honestly don't know. I'd have to look at the website.
Anybody know?
Negative.
Okay.
Would you like me to research it?
Oh.
No, you did. Stefan, what's that for? You did an excellent job. I'm telling you, you did an excellent job. I might have messed up on the price. So that's absolutely fine. I love how you got your spaghetti factory in there. Looking very, very good. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions before we go into somebody else's?
Not at the moment, but I am thinking, actually.
Yeah, you did fabulous job. So let's see who we have up here next. And Jordan, I didn't pull yours up because unfortunately I didn't have enough faith in you. I'm so sorry. I figured 50% chance you wouldn't be here. So I'm super proud, but can't share your stuff today. Okay?
Hey, sorry if I'm being quiet, but like I said, I don't feel like I'm doing this because Aunt Lonnie basically was like, you have to. But even though I don't feel like 100% right now.
But you're here, and that's good. So it was a very good conversation we had, huh?
Yes.
Yes, you're back with us. All right, let's see who's next up here. This is Sam. Sam, you did a really good job on yours too. Did you have a lot of help, or were you able to do it kind of independent?
Got help.
Okay. Who was working with you?
Yvonne.
Okay. All right. So see here, you put my name except I'm not a Studebaker. I'm a Studebaker. I just noticed that. Okay. So you did wonderful. You spelled your Wilmington Apartments correctly. I think you're one of the first ones that did. And you see how we've set up these bills that if you're actually here every day, you can pay all your bills and still have some money left. Even though you get little things like $30 pizza for your friends, you're still looking good in your account. Do you have any questions about this, or do you think you're doing well?
I'm doing good.
Good. Okay. Nice job. Next up, we have, whose is this? Why doesn't it say it over there? Anybody recognize this one? Oh, I think
That's Royce.
Royce.
That's Royce.
Right.
Yeah, it's mine. It's mine.
You also did a good job on yours. The check number, though.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
That's
I was
okay.
mean to erase it for a while.
That's all right. I mean, it looks real good. The one thing I do see here is you didn't continue your balance with Winco. Right? You didn't subtract out your Winco money. Oh, it's because you didn't run out of money. You have plenty of money. So it looks like you just didn't do the subtraction for your groceries. But other than that, that looks really nice.
Thank you.
Good job. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. It looks like I have one more bank statement up here. Devin, you also did a great job on yours. Did you have a lot of help, Devin?
No.
You did this like pretty much on your own?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, really excellent job. Right?
Thank you.
I didn't see a mistake on here. I don't know if anyone else notices one.
Well, the deposit for the
Where did the bus pass go?
I think that the birthday deposit doesn't have the date of the check or the date of the deposit.
Okay. So we need that date right there, Devin, and it looks like you don't have your bus pass. But other than that, I mean, this is very, very nice. Okay?
Thank.
So you got those couple of things to add.
All right.
Anyone have any questions on bank statements right now? Nope, everybody's good except the couple that are going to get some help. Okay, so let's see what else I have up here. Royce, interview questions. I really wish I could see all of you when I'm sharing screen, but it's really hard to do. I mean, you can if you're looking at tiny little boxes, but it's hard. Okay, so how should we do this? Do you want to like actually answer the questions and then get feedback? Royce?
Sure.
Okay. So why don't we kind of go through this interview, and I want all of you to kind of critique. Can you all see Royce when he's talking?
Yeah.
No.
No, you can only see my screen.
Yeah, I can see everyone.
I can see most everybody.
Same here.
Oh, wait, I could see him. Never mind, I can see him.
Okay, so or maybe you could even put it on that speaker view, right?
You can't really do that while you're sharing screen.
Okay.
The option isn't there.
I have my son's having a little meltdown. I got to see what's going on. What's up, buddy? Are you okay? You okay? Are you sure? Sure? Let me get through this class, okay? You're gonna be fine? Okay? Okay, sorry. It's giving me all kind of weird looks. All right. So, Royce, tell me about yourself.
I'm a good worker and I do everything in the book and read the instructions so I can teach others how to do it themselves.
Okay? Why should I hire you?
Because I'm dependable and a fast learner. I'm very supportive to my coworkers and willing to help them if they need help. I'm also able to do extra work when needed.
Which of the jobs you have worked or volunteered in did you like the best?
I worked at a library called the Family Research Library, and for my job, people had to discover to make their own family trees. I took my teacher's photo album and scanned all pictures that were in that album and put them in a USB.
Can you describe a time when your work was constructively criticized, and then how did you respond?
My boss told me I need to talk more coworkers more often since I always had to work by myself. Because I need to be more social.
Sorry, there's two of us giving this class this morning, apparently. Okay. What are your greatest strengths?
I am a great typer. My typing speed is 45 to 50 words per minute. I can lift heavy items to the designated areas, and I'm quite handy with office technology.
Okay. Can you tell me about an accomplishment that you're most proud of?
I'm most proud to take care of my mother when she needs it the most.
How would you respond to an upset customer or member?
I will listen to them and I will try to help them to the best of my ability. And if I couldn't, I'll get my manager to handle the problem.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself working full time and working with my mom living with me and taking care of her.
Do you have any questions for me?
When can I expect to hear from you? When can I expect to hear back from you? And do you provide training to new employees?
Great questions. What are some of your hobbies?
I like to spend time with my friends and family, and I like to read the most.
All right. Any feedback from anyone?
You're pretty good.
I think Royce should chill.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think
You did a really nice job.
I
I
was
like how
very
you
blown
put
away
it
with his
like-
answers. I was just like, those are complete answers. Like, they're
Yeah,
not
they
super
are.
long, but they're not super short, but they're just like what I would want to hear from a boss, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good-
Yvonne
good.
helped out most of it, so Yvonne, she deserves some. She deserves half credit.
Thank you. Yay.
Yeah, I thought they were very professional, very personable, and Royce really interviews well. So not only does he have great answers, but he has a great delivery. He's very, sometimes Royce is quiet, but he's very confident in situations like public speaking and interviews. And Royce, I would want to hire you after this interview.
Absolutely. I have a
For
couple,
sure.
couple of things I'd like to say about that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so one thing, Royce, I love the part where it says, I'm also able to do extra work when needed, because let me tell you, that says volumes of who you are going to be as an employee. Because that's something that if I were told that, if I was interviewing someone and I was told that, I'd be like, oh, this guy likes to work. He's going to be reliable if I need something extra done, because when doesn't that happen in a workplace, right? So I love that part in your
That's a
answers.
good point.
Yeah, I love that. And another thing, I would throw in your accuracy in your typing, because I think that's
He has 45 to 50.
no, the accuracy, because your speed is really impressive, but if you put in there the at like 98% accuracy, that's going to be like, wow, that's really cool. So the next time you do that test, figure out what your accuracy is, and I would add that to that.
And he was definitely in the upper 90s for accuracy. Do you know
Right.
what your average is, Royce?
Somewhere in the 90s area. I'm not going to say 100 just yet. I'm not that there.
Yeah, I would actually add that when you find out what your average is.
Yes, I think that's very good. People like numbers.
Yeah.
They like facts and they like numbers. Like at Kaiser in particular, they really like that. So, yeah, go ahead and add that, Royce, okay? Just make it even a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay? So let's look at, I think this is Nathan's, right, Nathan?
It does look familiar, yes.
Well, I hope it.
Yeah, now I'm a little nervous after going after Royce. I'm just like,
But you know, we don't always start out with it perfect. That's why we do this practice, and that's why you get input from everyone, because it can always be better.
correct.
All right, so let's go ahead and go through yours. So tell me about yourself.
I'm a very friendly, approachable person. I also love to help other people when they need it.
Why should I hire you?
You should hire me because I am a hardworking individual that is dependable and will get the tasks done on time.
Which of the jobs have you worked or volunteered in did you like the best?
I worked at PetSmart as a stock clerk. I enjoyed helping customers however I could.
All right. Can you describe a time when your work was constructively criticized, and how did you respond?
When I first started as a stock clerk, my manager said that I was stocking organizing the shelves too slow. I took the advice and I stocked and organized the shelves more quickly.
What are your greatest professional strengths?
My strengths are being a good team player, independent employee that is punctual. I can get the task done on time.
Can you tell me about an accomplishment that you are most proud of?
I'm most proud of being a hardworking, independent young adult with the skills of being flexible and a good team player.
How would you respond to an upset customer or member?
I would listen to that upset customer and see if I could. Oh goodness, this is where the typing kind of got crazy. If I could, it was supposed to say help them, and if I can't, then I will go and get a supervisor.
All right.
I don't know where the typing went, bro. I don't know where the typing went there. I don't like. I got distracted, maybe. I don't know. But that's what it was supposed to say.
Okay. Well, we're still rough drafting, right?
Yes.
All right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself in 5 years as a independent adult. I don't know why I got typed twice, but as an independent adult with a good job that drives and has their own place, that is also a dependable, hardworking young employee.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. Is there opportunity for me to expand in my knowledge?
And what are some of your hobbies?
I love to play music, and I enjoy playing sports and team-based event activities.
All right. Feedback?
You did fine.
That was good.
It was really awesome.
Miss Sherry, now that I think about it, I think what happened was that my aunt was moving, and that day when I was typing the job interviews, I was kind of in charge of watching my 5 and 8-year-old cousin. So occasionally I'll get disrupted from my work to go help them or whatever, like fill their water or whatever. So I think that's what happened. When I was like typing and then I got distracted and then I typed it twice, or I like missed a chunk of what I meant to say.
It's all right. When you read it out loud, you notice those things more, right?
Yes.
So can I get any real feedback besides good job, great job, did fine?
I have some things.
Go ahead, Yvonne.
Okay, so let me see. So on number 2, let's see what your answer was. A hardworking individual and dependable will get the task done on time. I like that you're very confident in that answer, where it's you will get the task done on time. Not, you didn't say I'll try. I always try to get it done. You say you will get it done. So that shows a lot of responsibility there, and and the fact you put you're punctual, and then you put independent and a team player. I think that's very important to say, because you can work independently if you need to do a task by yourself, or you're able to work as part of a team. Correct, so I think that's important to point that out. Now on number 9, Sherry, can you scroll on number 9 for a minute? Okay, your answer was, do you have any questions for me? You said yes, and I like that you answered yes. And then you said, is there an opportunity for me to expand my knowledge? It's hard to do because you don't know what you're interviewing for at this point, but I'd like to see that change to be specific there. What exactly do you want to learn? Right? Because expand your knowledge, that could mean a whole wealth of things, but be specific. So when you do your job interview, find something about that company or about the position that you may want to learn, and specifically ask something like that. I like that you're asking to learn more. I think that's awesome. But I think that you should be more specific as to what the job is.
Okay.
I have some specifics as well that I think should be added. Let me see here. Okay, so on number 3, when you say helping customers however I could, I also think there could be more details, right?
Such as, like, where could I find the dog food or cat food, or
if assisting customers in finding merchandise, and maybe there could be a couple of things, and maybe you could even add however I could, but maybe a couple of specifics.
Right. Like maybe you walked someone to a specific brand of dog food, or answered a question about, is there wheat in this dog food? Something specific like that, maybe. Okay. That you took the time to find that out for that customer.
And let's see, I had more. Let me move
That's
on.
what I was gonna say.
Okay, on number 4, I mean, what skill did you learn that helped you to go more quickly? Just because they told you to go more quickly, you were able to? Or did you, so I was able to, sorry.
More. It was more like a memorization kind of thing, like muscle memory, because when you're doing it, it's kind of like it looks hard, but kind of isn't because you kind of like just look like this the tag, so you kind of like organized as in like you took you checked the food to make sure that the expiration date was good on it, and if it was bad, you take it off and then you put it back on there. But I guess it was just more like a muscle memory kind of thing. But
Like, on that, does anyone have anything else for that?
For what question, Sherry, was that for?
So I'm on number 4, right? Because usually, like Tyler had one like that for stocking the sodas in the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
But just something that says how you learn to be more quickly, more than someone just telling you need to be quicker and go faster. I mean, where there's skills that you to improve that in turn improved your speed.
Maybe he could say that he concentrated on maybe half an aisle at a time and was able to do it more quicker, as opposed to trying to find like a bigger, trying to stock a bigger area. Maybe focus on one area, so he was able to do that faster. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, but I mean, how did you learn to do it faster, Devin? I mean, besides your muscle memory, like you're saying, did you focus more on the job? How did you get faster?
Devin?
As anything.
My apologies. That's why I was laughing. You called me Devin again.
It's been a while since I did that.
Yeah, you did it. It was funny because you did it yesterday with the whole check thing when you said Jordan and Devin, and then that's why I asked you if you got mine, because apparently you thought you did it again yesterday.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
All year round. I'm so sorry. 2 people every year.
That's
I don't know. Maybe that's not important. John, what do you feel about that?
You know, I was gonna say something and I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay. Just sometimes if you can say, what skill you improved upon so that you were able to improve your speed, but maybe it doesn't need to be there. It's just something.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like they were saying, be specific of like how you were faster. I think I would go with what you said, Nathan. You said you learned on the way.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like you learned while you were doing it, and then you progressively got better and better.
Yeah,
so
like I learned it like kind of on the way, and like kind of expanded into like muscle memory to where I knew what I was looking, I was concentrating, but at the same time I already knew what I was doing, so it's kind of like a automatic, like autopilot kind of thing.
Yeah, another thing I was thinking, quicker is not necessarily the best if you're new. So yeah, once you progressed.
Once I learned my job, I was able to
gradually progressed kind of thing.
I know if I was pushed to go too fast than I would start making mistakes. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
definitely. I gradually got quicker.
Yeah.
Or should I say progressed speed? I don't know.
You progressively learned your job.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because of that, we're able to increase your speed. Okay. Let's see. Number 8, the only thing I'd say, I would maybe say with a good job, a driver's license instead of that drives, a driver's license and my own place, not has their own place, because you're kind of talking about yourself in the third person there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say, I see myself as an independent adult with a good job, a driver's license, my own place,
Okay.
Something like just in the wording. But
Oh,
you have good information there.
right.
Anyone else have anything for Nathan? We're good?
I think so.
Okay.
We're good.
I have Eleanor's up here. Okay, Eleanor, it's time for your interview. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, Eleanor.
Good morning, Sherry.
Tell me about yourself.
I have good typing skills, and I am always on time.
Why should I hire you?
I am I am good worker, and I am good follow direction.
All right. Which of the jobs you have worked or volunteered in did you like the best?
I like to clean the the, the carpet. That's my favorite choice.
Can you describe a time when your work was constructively criticized and how did you respond?
I would say I made a mistake and I will fix it.
What are your greatest professional strengths?
I am hard worker and I like to work with 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 people.
Tell me about an accomplishment that you are most proud of.
I am proud of myself when I finish a job.
Okay. How would you respond to an upset customer or member?
If I can help them, I will get a manager.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I am going to working Taco Bell.
Do you have any questions for me?
Do you have in this increase? How many hours a week is this job?
What are some of your hobbies?
I like to hang out with my friends and watch movies.
Good job. All right, feedback, please.
Connor, did you were you saying you had insurance,
Yes.
or are you asking about insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not Eleanor.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else? Come on, team. This isn't Siri talking.
Yes, I think she was very good at answering the question. Her delivery was well, and I love the fact that she said that she is especially in number 4, when she said that she would say she made a mistake and then she would fix it. Like, she's owning up to she is taking responsibility for that task, saying that she made a oops and now she's willing to go fix it.
Good.
Hmm.
Okay, the people I haven't heard from today, I really need to hear from, please.
I think there's a bit too many I's at the beginning of a sentence. But that's just what my knows. That's not very much.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Well, for my opinion, she says you're gonna work in Taco Bell, but needs to expand more because that's just only one place.
Because that's kind of limiting, right?
And
Yeah.
I would say that I wouldn't say going to work at Taco Bell. I would say I would like to work at Taco Bell because I don't know. I think it sounds better.
Okay, I would like to work at Taco Bell. I have a hard time doing this. I know it makes marks. Maybe it doesn't.
I would like. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that could work.
And Eleanor, is it easier for you to pronounce benefits as opposed to insurance?
Okay.
So how about this, Eleanor? Try to say, do you offer benefits?
Do you offer benefit?
Yeah.
Yeah, much better.
Let's change. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And Sherry, another thing is where it says I like to hang out with my friend and watch movies. Should be friends.
Well, I think, Eleanor, do you watch movies with one friend or more than that?
I will choose one.
Yeah. I think that
Okay.
you're talking about a particular friend, like her best friend.
Oh.
Best friend. Two.
Two best friends?
Yep.
Let's put friends, like Andrew said, okay?
Okay.
Hang out with my friends and watch movies. All right. Anything else?
I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but from the looks of it, she seems to have done really good.
Huh? Oh, I was thinking, I think on number 3, that you said, so it looks like you haven't had any job before, right?
Right.
So maybe it should say something like, this will be my first job, but I like to clean the carpet. That's my favorite chore. What do you think of adding that? Anybody?
I would say that sounds pretty good.
I like that.
Okay. This will be my first job.
Yeah, I think that's nice.
Job. Do we want a butt? I like to clean the carpet. That's my favorite chore. Does that sound good to you, Eleanor?
I think that sounds good.
Eleanor, are you there?
Yes, I am there. It's
that-
good.
He nodded yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see anyone's pictures right now, any of your faces. Okay. So, any other feedback? We're good? Okay.
Yes, I think we're good.
I think that's all I have to share. All right, so I'm going to stop. Hi, welcome back. Or I guess welcome me back. Yes, Clad?
No, I just said welcome back, Sherry.
Oh, thank you. All right, anyone have anything? Where's Jordan?
She went to the bathroom. She asked in chat, and I said she could go to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay, Tony, as soon as I'm done with my class, okay? 15 more minutes, yes. Give me 15 minutes, son. Thank you very much. I love you. Okay. All right. Any more comments on anything we looked at and reviewed today?
I appreciate you letting me know about my bank statement. I didn't notice that.
Oh, I mean, you did an excellent job, Stefan. That was just one little thing. Okay?
Well, Miss Yvonne helped me, so she deserves more credit since she helped me with it.
Okay, well, and she gets credit for helping you, but you also get credit for doing it, right? So, Tyler,
Yes.
Did we talk about if you have one-on-one today?
I had it yesterday.
Okay, so is this something you're going to try and catch up over break then?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I appreciate that very much. And Clad, someone's working with you or no?
Yes.
Today. Okay, and someone's
Yeah, I work
working.
for John today.
Yeah, I got him today.
I work with you on today.
Okay, yes, Yvonne?
So if any of you guys work on something over the break, feel free to text me if you have any questions, okay? It's easier, way easier to get a hold of me through a text. But I'm willing to help you.
Okay.
Set up a Zoom if needed or whatever. Okay, so.
Okay. Anyone have any fun things planned for your break?
Well, I'm going to snow with my little niece's birthday.
Oh, that's fun. That'd be fun. Yes, Eleanor?
I'll be heading out with my friends, and I will have food and listen to music, going outside to play.
Oh, sounds like a lot of fun. All right, I saw Clad, and then I saw Stefan, and then I see Andrew. Go ahead, Clad.
Let's see. I'm not really sure what I have planned, but I'm gonna find a way to celebrate Valentine's Day one way or another.
Okay.
Maybe I'll spend the day cherishing my friends or something.
There you go. Share the love.
Yeah. Share the single love.
Right now. Clad?
I said share the single life.
There you go. Stefan, you had something?
Yeah, I'm supposed to hang out with a friend tomorrow, actually.
Good, good. Andrew?
Let's see here. For one thing, I'm going out of town, so that's gonna be fun.
Where are you going?
Let's see here.
Tony, 10 minutes, babe. You're such a pouting son. Andrew? Yeah, remember?
Let's see here. Yeah, I can't remember.
Tony, come here. Come here. Over here.
Bay Area? You going south or north?
It's, well, let's just say I'm going past Washington, D.C.
Oh, are you driving or flying?
Oh.
Flying. All right.
You going to Virginia?
Virginia?
Oh, are you going to Europe?
It's way past that.
Philadelphia?
It's over. Let's say it's overseas. Let's just say that.
Oh, you're going out of state. Or, I mean, out of the continent.
Out of country. Yeah. Anybody else? Anything they want to talk about they're looking forward to doing next week? No? Jordan, how about you?
Me?
Jordan, I asked. Back and ask you in a sec, Devin. Devin,
Okay.
not Nathan. Jordan?
Sure, but, not really sure, but I do know that this weekend, after Aunt Lonnie and Uncle Mike finally finished working on the counter,
Why use the gold spoon?
because they destroyed the counter and they're redoing it. After they do that, Uncle Mike's gonna look at my dresser, because what had happened was my dresser was perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden my aunt goes in there to get something to get her dog out from under my bed, and she looks at me, and the big middle dresser had fallen out, the other one sideways, and it looks like, to me, like the screw went loose. So after they do the counter, my uncle was gonna look into that and be like, and try to fix it and be like, because I'm just glad I was not in the closet when that happened, because if it to hit you, that could stop you from breathing.
You spend a lot of time in your closet?
Not a lot of time.
But you actually spend time in your closet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. Did anyone else have anything? Sam, I've not heard from you all morning, and I haven't heard from Jonathan. Oh, and first Devin had something to say, so I'll come back to you two, okay? Yes, Devin?
I'm not sure what my plan is, but during February 22nd, when we get back from break, it's also my Aunt Jane's birthday.
Oh, so you gonna do something with your Aunt Jane or for her?
No, but I'll think of something.
Okay. All right. Jordan, stick with us, please. We got 10 more minutes, okay? The party's this way. All right?
It's not a party. Wait.
Jonathan, do you have any fun plans?
Not at all.
Anything besides games?
Yeah.
Your jacket's been shipped. So I'll definitely have it when you go back to school. It's on its way to my house now. Yeah. Sam, are you going to pick up any extra hours over break?
I will try.
Okay. Anything you're looking forward to over the next week?
No.
No, nothing at all. All right. So you all know what days you come back to in person, correct? Okay. This afternoon.
Monday and Tuesday.
That you, Stefan?
No.
That's not you?
No, I think it is because
No.
Okay. All right. Anything to talk about coming back to class? Okay, we're still going to do our lunch breaks, all right? So you can bring lunch, or you can go get lunch. You're still in uniform Monday through Thursday, correct? Hold on just a second, Andrew. I'm not going to go over there today like I wanted to for security because I have Tony all day and I really just can't walk around the hospital with him. But next Tuesday, he goes to his program for a while, so I'll go over there then and help get us all set up so we can get back in the door. And I want to talk to Doug and see if I can start us doing some outside work. I mean, the amount of curriculum, homework stuff you've all done this year, it's really almost as much as we would do in a whole year, and you've already done it. So I really want to try to get some work you can go and do. Stefan, can you sit still, please? Thank you very much. And Andrew, what did you have to say?
Were you saying something about this afternoon for a Zoom meeting or something?
Yeah. So we're not going to do DMV. What is it you'd like to do this afternoon?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, we have another hour. So I am open for suggestions.
Play bingo.
You want to play bingo? That'd be a nice way to maybe go out for our break.
Sure.
Does everyone have a bingo card?
I think I still have my bingo card.
I don't know where I put mine.
Well, if you were all organized, you'd have it right there with your.
Mine.
You know what's funny is yesterday I was digging for change in my pocket, and I pulled out a bingo thing. I was like, how did that get in there?
John, how did that happen?
It was annoying because I thought it was change. You know, I was trying to put in this machine. I was like, what?
But made you smile a little, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, how many of you have your bingo card? Raise your hand.
I do.
I have mine.
Eleanor, do you have your bingo card?
I think I left home.
Are you not at home?
No.
I have to look for mine.
Okay, so how about instead of who has it, how many of you don't know where your bingo card is?
I'll try and find it. I think it's in one of my drawers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe we should write an essay instead if so many of you can't keep track of your fun stuff.
We'll find ours. We'll find ours.
What's that?
I think you'll find mine.
Sam, I could go find mine.
So how about whoever has their bingo cards gets to play bingo, and whoever doesn't, I can give extra assignment to? What do you think?
I think I can find mine right now.
Sure. Okay, so what should the extra assignment be for those that are unorganized and can't find their bingo card?
You should give them a journal prompt too.
Journal prompt?
I am really good at those.
Okay, so how many would prefer a journal prompt over bingo?
I will go find mine right now. Please, no more writing. I'm thanking you, Miss Sherry.
All right. If
You guys are motivated.
bingo card, we will play bingo. If not, you can write a journal prompt while the rest of us play.
What about a journal prompt?
Who said that?
That was Stefan.
He said, "Why don't we do a journal prompt?"
What about journal prompt?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, how many would prefer a journal prompt over bingo? I see no hands. Alright, I want y'all to look hard. Go ahead, Devin. Go ahead, Devin.
I'll choose journal prompt over bingo.
Really? You and Stefan, it looks like.
And me.
You want to play bingo, don't you, Eleanor?
I do.
Okay, but you said you don't have your bingo card, right?
I could use using assignment.
You could do the assignment? All right, so how's that?
Yep.
Let's see. The journal prompt is going to be something about being organized with your stuff. Right? So if anyone can help with the words right now, because that seems to be the reason people wouldn't be playing bingo, right? Because they can't find their stuff. So Yvonne, how can we word that?
Let's see. Good question. I don't know.
Let's see. I will learn to be organized. I'm open for words. Organized with my belongings. Because if I'm not,
And you have to write journal prompts.
belongings.
I'm gonna have to leave the meeting to go to the custodial training thing.
Okay, get to your training. See you
All right.
later.
Bye, Tyler.
Have a good
See you,
week.
Tyler.
Strong about education and training in the industry. So maybe a good opportunity, as well as with where I'm trying to get in with UC Davis Medical Center.
Yes.
And so, those who want to work in the medical field, good opportunity with them.
Yes, I was actually Shriners and UC Davis had called me, and I told them that I was going to go ahead and do this before I, applied again.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
My video's not on. Let me see what's up. Oh, there we go.
I mean, one thing you do just.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tasha. Waiting on a few more people. We're just running a little bit late today. Get attendance while we're doing this. Give it just a couple more minutes and we'll get started here. Well, welcome to our Friday class, everybody, and glad to have just about everybody here. Today we continue our discussion of chemicals, moving into a little bit more of the details. And if you read ahead like you were supposed to, you saw that today we start looking at the 7 different types of cleaning agents, as well as how chemicals work, the actual chemical cleaning action. So that'll be the focus of today's class. We will be ending promptly at 11 today. I have an appointment with the vendor this afternoon that I have to be at by noon. So I have to kind of get things wrapped up because they're showing some new equipment that we want to take a look at. I'm going to get us over to our Google Classroom because I want to share with you some information there. So let's share my screen here. And you guys should see, yep, there it is. The Google Classroom, we're looking at the ISSA handbook portion, but I want to point out a couple things. First of all, I've added, as I mentioned, a couple more videos that we will be looking at today, and some that you will have to look at on your own that just help to supplement some of the information we're discussing. I'm pointing out something though for you, and that is this page here. It is a review of about 10 questions. These are things that you can do on your own. Again, just like we've discussed, you don't need to turn it into me. I don't need to see your answers. I'm not going to grade this. This is for your information to make sure you guys are understanding what we're covering in the class. So you're welcome to utilize that as we go through our lesson today to make sure you're kind of finding those answers to the questions. We will review that though as we begin our lesson on Wednesday. And Wednesday we will go all the way to 11:30 because we're going to need a little bit more time for that review time. So I would just wanted to point that out as far as to make sure you guys saw that in the classroom. All right, and a question that came up the other day at the end of class is in relation to this presentation, the basic like PowerPoint presentation that I use. The notes from that is in the Google Classroom. So all you'd need to do is click on that link there under Chemistry of Cleaning, and you'll see that. And that's where we'll pick up with today. So we spoke on Wednesday about safety of products and being safe with the chemicals we're working with. Now we're going to get into understanding about the chemicals themselves as far as the different cleaning agents. So if you are looking at your books on page 12 through 14, it identifies those seven different cleaning agents that are common cleaning agents that we would use in our business. This does not mean that these are the only cleaning agents available. This is the 7 common ones that we use in our industry. And it starts with basically the most mild and goes through a variety. First, we'll talk briefly about water as a cleaning agent. Then about natural soaps. That's that progression of how cleaning chemicals were developed. We'll get into synthetic detergents. What's the difference? Why do we now use man-made detergents versus natural soaps? Solvents. The other day when we were talking about the different chemicals that you guys use in your homes, somebody's using, I believe it's Goo Gone or Dissolve It for removing gum. That is a solvent cleaner. We'll talk a little bit about how those work. Then we get into the core, the acid and alkaline cleaners. And then a product that I think we've all used for many years is abrasive cleaners. You might think in terms of products like Comet or Ajax. Those are abrasive cleaners. So we'll go through each of those. So let's just start by talking about water. And water is actually the oldest cleaning agent. But the interesting thing about water is that alone it can't remove grease and oil. And the reason being is that water struggles to penetrate a surface. There's a real problem with water. And I mean, one, as I mentioned, it's a fantastic thing for just rinsing away dry soils or stuff that doesn't have grease and oils. In fact, if anybody has ever pressure washed, you know that with pressure, water does a fantastic job of rinsing things away. If you use steam cleaning, where you take and heat water to a temperature over 210 degrees so that you now are creating steam, it works incredibly well for cleaning things like grout because it vaporizes and blasts it out of there. So heat works incredibly well for it. But this issue of being able to deal with surface tension is a major issue. And so before we start talking about the other types of detergents, I wanted to show you guys a brief video about surface tension, and I'll explain it this way. If you've ever seen how water beads up on a surface, the reason it does that is the water molecules like to stick together. They're very cohesive. They bond together very well. And as a result, because of that bonding together, they don't tend to separate out or wet out. Okay, in that drawing you saw the gentleman did the other day in the class, he was talking about surface tension. Well, surface tension is where water itself doesn't penetrate. In fact, it's interesting. If anybody is ever dealt with or has any friends in the fire departments, one of the things firefighters use is what's called a wetting agent to take and allow water to penetrate when they're fighting fire, because water by itself tends to beat up and, you know, they can blast it away, but they need it to penetrate into the surface to be able to help put out the fires. So I'll show you a video for a moment about surface tension so that you can understand what we're talking about. And in the tab here under surface tension, I'm going to share with you a video from a group called the Psy Guys, and pretty cool video. There's two other ones that I encourage you to view on your own because they do an experiment here with water that demonstrates, you know, how surface tension works. So, loading that. And before we start it, I need to do one thing to the video. You guys need to just remind me, can you hear it as she gets started?
Stay outside, guys. The surface tension.
We can hear it.
Okay.
Welcome to Psy Guys. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Teresa. Today we're doing surface tension of water.
And we're going to use pennies. Unfortunately, they don't make them in pen anymore.
Surface tension is a tendency of the surface of a liquid to resist external forces such as gravity.
The equipment you're going to need for this episode includes a bowl full of pennies or dimes,
A glass,
measuring cup,
and if you want, simple time. While we're not working with anything hazardous today, it's always a good idea to wear an apron or lab coat to protect from spills and splashes.
The first step in your experiment is to take your glass and a measuring cup full of colored water and fill your glass until the water reaches the absolute top brim of the glass. It should look like a slight dome of water.
The next step is you want to take your penny and very gently drop it in the middle of the glass. If the surface shakes, you want to give it time to settle down before dropping another one.
Continue to add pennies to your glass until water spills over the edge. The water in your glass should now be in a dome shape that rises above the rim of the glass. Let's look at this experiment a little closer. Water is an amazing substance. One 8-ounce cup of water contains in the neighborhood of 7.91 times 10 to the power of 24 molecules of water, which is around this many molecules of H2O in every cup. This puts into perspective how very small water molecules are. Each water molecule is made up of one oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms in a V shape. Water molecules want to stick close to each other. The force that keeps them within close proximity to each other is known as cohesive force. Cohesion happens between all liquid molecules, but because the molecules inside our glass pull on each other equally in all directions, they generally cancel each other out. However, since the surface of the water has air molecules above it instead of water molecules, the cohesive bonds between the surface molecules are much stronger than those inside the glass. These stronger surface bonds generate a net inward force pulling the surface molecules toward the middle of the glass, keeping them all together. This strong inward force causes the molecules on the surface to contract and to resist being stretched or pulled away, creating an almost elastic tension at the surface of the water, known as surface tension. When we add pennies to our water glass, the water level rises, and the inward pull of surface tension keeps the water from spilling over the edge, generating a convex dome that rises above the glass. The dome will continue to rise as we add pennies until the amount of force pressing down on the dome by gravity is greater than the surface tension generated by cohesion, causing water to spill over the edge of our glass. Water will continue to spill out of the glass until the force of gravity and surface tension are equal. If you look at the dome of water from the side, you will notice that it has rounded edges at the rim of the glass and a flat top. The flat portion of the dome is created by gravity pushing down on our dome of water.
That's it for surface tension of water. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments below and subscribe for future episodes.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
And if you have any questions related to this episode or about science in general, let us know in the comments below or message us on Facebook and we'll try to help you out as best possible. Thanks for watching. Bye.
So a lot of chemistry there about how water works, how it holds together. What does that mean for us? In our world, when we're talking about water holding together and surface tension, what this means is if I go to mop a floor and that floor is oily or sticky, water is just going to smear it. It's not going to break the surface tension. It has no way to remove it. So as we get talking more about how chemicals work, we're going to see how detergents play a factor in this. All right. Now, our next...
Hey, David?
Yes.
So when you add a cleaning agent to the equation, that allows for the water to be more effective and get to the surface.
Yes, it does. Yep. Yeah, and this that process is going to be made more clear as we go along.
Okay.
But absolutely, water on its own is not necessarily an effective cleaner. I mean, it'll remove stuff, but anytime we have to penetrate, it won't do it. Now, to add to that, one other issue we deal with water is that water has minerals in it. In particular, it has two key ingredients, okay? Calcium and magnesium. Calcium and magnesium create what we call hard water. And if we live in California, we deal with hard water. It's a major issue for us. So to that extent, there are systems called water softening systems that will lower the parts per million of those minerals to make water a little softer, okay? Because one of the problems with hard water is that those minerals want to attract to soap and detergents, and they leave a film on, especially on glass and on other things such as granite or marble. So to remove those, that hard water and that calcium and magnesium, we have to use certain different products. So we'll get to that. So that being said, that's water. Now let's talk about the next ingredient. And by the way, this slide that you'll notice, chemicals or removed salts that make water harder are called water softeners. And hard water is 400 parts per million. That will come up on a test. So be aware of that. That's why I want to make sure you understand that. Now, the second oldest cleaning agent is natural soap. Natural soap is a mixture of ingredients like alkalis, animal or vegetable fats and oils. They might be things like caustic soda, lime. Somebody mentioned the other day pool cleaning products. Who was that? Robert? Okay. In pool cleaning products, we use some of these natural soaps like caustic soda. They're used to help reduce pH or increase it. But the problem with natural soaps, even though what they do is they help us because they break the surface tension, they allow water to clean better, so they do a great job. However, they leave a residue behind. So if anybody has ever used a natural soap like Ivory body soap, you'll notice that natural soap tends to leave a film on your skin. And even worse, it'll leave a film on the shower. So you'll see it on the shower walls. You'll see it on the surface of things. So it's one of those things that, although very effective in cleaning as far as to be able to break the surface tension, they have this negative effect. So if you go back 100 years ago, we didn't have synthetic detergents. We used natural things. So over the years, we learned how to develop detergents to replace those natural soaps. The other problem with natural soaps is they tended to use things like whale fat and blubber and things like that. And, as we became more environmentally conscious as a people, we realized that we were depleting our natural resources in doing that. Therefore, we started to develop synthetic detergents, or what we call surfactants. Okay. And these replace those natural soaps. Because these synthetic detergents or surfactants work well, they help to break that surface tension that we had the problem with. So one demonstration to be able to see a difference, if you're looking at how surfactants work, if you were to take a bowl of water, okay, and you'll see how it holds together. You could put some food coloring in it, but you could put a needle and let it float on the top. But all you have to do is take a little toothpick with just a drop of Dawn dishwashing soap and touch that water. That needle will sink like a rock, because the needle by itself laying flat, not puncturing it, but laying flat, the surface tension is holding it up. It's like it's walking or floating on water. But as soon as I break the surface tension with a detergent, the water molecules now break their bond and I can penetrate it. So that's what allows water to get in, is when we can break that surface tension, and we do that with the detergent or surfactant. So that's what synthetic detergents do. The next is, as I mentioned, solvent cleaners. Now, solvent cleaners are cleaners that are designed to go after gums and tars and things like that. They could be solvents like alcohol, organic solvents like petroleum distillates or citrus distillates or mineral spirits. So if you've ever used a little bit of orange oil to remove a sticky substance, I think, Ken, you worked with buses, right? You know how the tar will build up on it. A lot of times the soap from washing it doesn't touch it. So you take a little bit of a degreaser that has some citrus solvent in it, works incredibly well. Mechanics who've been around for a long time remember the Gojo soap that was the orange soap that you would wash your hands off and it'd get the grease and oils off your skin because it had citrus solvents. So solvents are really good at attacking oils. And they have a lot of good features. One of the popular ones is a citrus solvent called D-limonene. And D-limonene is used in a lot of citrus cleaners. Solvents can be added to detergents to work together. But the interesting thing about solvents, they also have a negative effect. You have to be very careful because of something called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. Okay. On page 13, the little blue box, who'd like to be my reader today? I knew it.
I'll do it.
All right. Tony, why don't you read the box on page 13, the blue box about VOCs?
All right. Volatile organic compounds, VOCs, are one of the things that make cleaning chemicals potentially dangerous to people's health. VOCs are organic chemical compounds that have high enough vapor pressure under normal conditions to vaporize and enter the air in form of vapors or fumes. Breathing these fumes can be harmful. Green cleaning products attempt to minimize or remove VOCs from cleaning chemicals to make them safer to use and have less of an impact on indoor air quality.
So here's an example of VOCs. In the cleaning industry, for years we've had to strip and wax floors. One of the ingredients to help us to do that is a solvent called butyl cellulose. And butyl is by its nature a solvent. It does a great job in cutting greases and oils and for stripping floors. But a lot of times the strength of that butyl, which in the past was very strong product, would cause people to get nauseous, get a headache from it. In fact, it was not uncommon for people to develop respiratory issues or even to the extent neurological issues that were caused by some of these extremely strong chemicals or solvents that were being used back 30 years ago. When I first got into the business, I remember when we would strip floors, you know, you'd have to take a break and go outside because it was just so strong smelling. Nowadays, if you spray a degreaser, and there's an interesting effect that occurs, you'll know if it has butyl. It's called the cough factor. You'll spray certain degreasers and it's so strong it'll make you cough. That's because that degreaser, that solvent that's in it, has that effect to the respiratory system. Okay, so there's a benefit in the cleaning because it works incredibly well, but the negative is the health effects to us. So we've been looking at ways to replace that or minimize some of these solvents that we've used in the industry for years. So part of what we talked about green cleaning is part of green cleaning involves reducing the amount of chemicals, but the other part is using safer chemicals, things that will not have a negative impact on us or on the area that we're cleaning or on the environment.
David, how do you feel about using freeze on gum?
When we get to the carpet cleaning, I'll get into details, but freeze can work well. I think there is a place for citrus solvent. I think it works incredibly well. But again, with either of those, you just need to know how to use them.
Right.
So we will definitely talk more detail about those when we deal the lesson on carpet. So,
Dave, I have a question.
Sure.
I know when it's time for us to strip floors, what we use for the school district is this a maroon pad and water.
Yep. So it's a mechanical way, and we'll definitely address that method. Now, this class does not We don't get into depth on stripping and waxing floors in this particular class, but part of green cleaning, I will address that on your hard floors, because I think there's a lot of value to just understanding, the difference. And Nelson, Tony and I have talked for years about the value of that, because, we both believe in green cleaning concepts and methodology. And nowadays, I'm a big proponent of reducing or eliminating the use of floor finish. I think it has too much negative consequences. And frankly, I recommend to any facility, remove the flooring that you have to wax. There's too much risk involved with waxing of floors, and it's not worth that risk. So that being said, I still teach people how to strip and wax floors, and I teach both methods. And because I think you have to know how to use chemical stripper, even though it's being phased out in the industry. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, by the way. All right, a few more different types of cleaners out there. The next we get into is acid cleaners. Now, this is when we start to talk about acid cleaners and alkaline cleaners, we're now talking about a water-based chemical. A solvent-based is something, as we mentioned, that works in degreasers and so forth. But now, if we're dealing with a water-based chemical, a synthetic detergent, for example, these can have either acidic or alkaline on the pH scale. And next Wednesday's class, we'll talk about the pH scale. But acid cleaners are fantastic cleaners because they're great at removing mineral deposits. So remember we talked about calcium, hard water. Well, the way to remove that is to use an acidic cleaner. Now, acid cleaners that are too strong can permanently damage a surface, so you have to be careful in using them. We used to use acid cleaners that were extremely strong, products like hydrofluoric acid. But now we use much milder types of acid. We'll use like a citric acid, which is a little bit more organic and at the same time safer to work with. So one philosophy that I've adopted over the years is do no harm. Use the chemical that is the safest to use, that will do no harm, but will still accomplish the job. Now, there are going to be times I need to go harsher. For example, if I have a shower door that is extremely built up with calcium or hard water, I'm going to need to use an acid cleaner. But to that extent, I'm also going to make sure I have good ventilation, because acid cleaners are also, the lower the pH, the stronger the acid, the more harmful it is to us when we breathe it or get it on our skin. It mentions, do not get acid cleaners on your skin or in your eyes, and avoid inhaling the fumes. Always wear PPE like gloves, goggles, a face shield, or a respirator when you're using acid cleaners. Especially is this going to be true when we're talking about cleaning shower rooms. If you have to go in and remove all the hard water buildup, make sure you have good PPE for doing it. I'll give you an example. Anybody ever been over to American River College there in Sacramento? Or have any family or friends that have gone to that school? It's an old campus, been around for a long time. The shower rooms there in the men's locker rooms the showers are about 5 foot tall, maybe 6 foot tall. They're not real tall, but it's tile. And along that tile is a heavy buildup of hard water. And over the years, they've tried to clean it. And the problem is, no matter how much they try to clean it, they still have a hard water issue that continues to be a problem. So as a result, they're just fighting against themselves on it. But the only way to effectively remove it is harsh acids. And the reality is they're very unsafe to work with. So acids have their place and we have to use them. So rings in toilets, we use an acidic bowl cleaner, usually made out of something like phosphoric acid. Okay. So from that standpoint, that's where acid cleaners are used. The opposite of an acid cleaner is an alkaline cleaner. And alkaline cleaners are probably the most common cleaners that we use in our business. Even mild alkaline cleaners. They help us with a lot of different things, or we will refer to them as general purpose cleaners. So things like glass cleaner is an alkaline cleaner. All-purpose cleaner is an alkaline cleaner. Just a variety of different things. Alkaline cleaners are fantastic for multi-purpose use. Floor cleaners are typically alkaline in nature. So a lot of the products that you use in your home are typically either neutral or slightly alkaline. And the reason being is they don't have a tendency to harm surfaces. The other reason why we use alkaline cleaners, and we'll understand this better when we start talking about pH, alkaline cleaners remove acidic soils. And soil, by its nature, is acidic. So we would use something, and greases and oils, for example, are acidic. So we would use an alkaline cleaner on the opposite side of the pH to remove those. All right. And the last of our 7 common cleaning agents that we use is, and that's actually listed there, abrasive cleaners. And those are detergents that typically have some sort of abrasive ingredient like silica dust, volcanic dust, some other granular material. And they work very well at scouring. So a lot of times you could combine an abrasive cleaner and an alkaline cleaner, a detergent, and create a very good cleaning chemical. Perfect example, soft scrub. Okay, well, everybody's used soft scrub over the years. It's kind of similar to a liquid Comet. Comet now makes a cream cleanser. In the commercial cleaning industry, I've used for years stronger abrasive cleaners because I will use those, and as I mentioned, they can be combined with an acidic or an alkaline cleaner. I have found that they make some acidic cleaners that are really good with that abrasiveness to help remove hard water buildup in showers. Because the acid attacks the alkalinity, it is thicker. So typically abrasive cleaners come in 3 forms, either a lotion, a paste, or a powder. And like I said, the powders would be things like Ajax or Comet. The lotion styles might be stuff that are more viscous. They stick well to the surface, allow us to scour it really well. So there's a lot of them out there in the industry, but they work incredibly well. So those are the 7 different cleaning agents. Let's just review those for a minute. Who can help us with what the oldest cleaning agent is?
Water.
Water, exactly. And what makes water hard?
Calcium. Calcium? No. You said
And
what makes
Christina?
water hard?
Yep. Christina, you were going to say something? Was it you?
No. Calcium and magnesium?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Arkina. Calcium and magnesium are what makes it hard. And the second oldest cleaning agent is what?
Natural soap.
Natural soaps, yep. What is the problem with natural soaps? Why don't we use natural soaps that much anymore?
You leave a film behind, residue.
Yep, thank you, Mark. They leave that film or residue behind. And a perfect example is ivory soap. All right, one more question. I asked that one. Okay. So this I'll just kind of review with you. 3 examples of solvents: pine oil, ethyl alcohol. I mentioned butyl salicylate. So there's a list there. These are different examples of solvents. So pay attention to that because that might come up on a test as well. And what are the hazards associated with cleaning solvents? It mentions that they can damage some surfaces. They're usually flammable, and some have vapors that attack the skin. As I mentioned, the butyl salicylate or other strong ones. You know, an interesting one is pine oil. Anybody ever used Pine Sol? Okay. Pine Sol's been around for a long time. Now, the Pine Sol that we use now is not the Pine Sol that our grandmas used to use, which has been around for a long time. The old Pine Sol, S-O-L, Pine Solvent, it was pine oil. And as a result, it worked really well to cut greases and oils, but it also left a residue on the floor. So smells great, but it also has a tendency, if you have a finish on a floor, to remove it. So back in the day, Pine Sol was a really popular cleaner, but over the time, we started to go away from the old Pine Sol now. The current Pine Sol that we use is now more of an all-purpose cleaner. And it doesn't have much pine in it at all. It's more of a pine fragrance. All right. We mentioned about where you would use acid cleaners. So remember, where do we use it on?
Like hard water, bathrooms.
Yep, exactly. Hard water deposits is a perfect example. Another one that I didn't mention is rust stains. If you ever have a rust stain, a great way to get rid of it is to use an acid, because rust is a high alkaline stain. So works really good on that. And then the 3 forms of abrasive cleaners: lotions, pastes, and powders. So this information, guys, if you use this in reference to your book, then the questions that I gave you in that review, you'll be able to answer a lot of those. All right, now let's move on to understanding the chemical cleaning actions. Let's see where we're at on our time. Perfect. Because this one I want to take a little bit more time to explain. So on page 15 of your book, it's got some nice diagrams and, you know, there's a little bit of information. The detergency process, how detergents, okay, we're specifically talking about detergents here, how they work is they have 4 different chemical actions. And we're going to go through those. The 4 actions: wetting, emulsification, dispersion, and then something called adsorption. Okay, that is different from absorption. It's got a D, not an S. So let's talk about those. We mentioned about the wetting action, right? Surface tension. Big problem with water is it holds together, it's cohesive. But when we add a detergent, it wets out. It allows it to spread out, and it'll break the surface tension. It helps water so it doesn't want to stick together. Okay? So from that standpoint, we use ingredients in the chemicals that make the water wetter. Okay? They're called wetting agents. So chemists, when they build these cleaning products, they'll use a different type of surfactant that has good wetting agents, good properties. So that's one of the things they look for as they build the chemical. The next one is emulsification. Now, any of you who've ever dealt with oil and water, do oil and water go well together? Nope.
No.
Yeah, they don't mix, right? That's the old saying, oil and water don't mix. So to be able to allow water to effectively remove greases and oils, we have to do something. And that's called emulsification. We actually have to allow the chemical to break the oil into smaller particles and then keep it suspended so that we can get rid of it. So I've got a nice little clip for you about that because I think it helps us. And it has to do with emulsifiers, how they work. This one's just a real quick video.
If you were to put some oil and water into a jar and shoot them up, the oil and water would mix together and form a cloudy looking liquid. But if you were to leave the jar to stand for a few minutes, the oil and water will begin to separate. The oil will rise to the top and form a distinct layer on top of water. Oil and water do not mix together permanently. But sometimes in cooking we do want oil and water to mix, and we can do that by adding an emulsifier. An emulsifier encourages the oil and water to mix. This is what is done in sauce recipes such as hollandaise sauce and mayonnaise. The emulsifier that's used in these recipes is called lecithin, which is found in egg yolk. This is how an emulsifier works. Emulsifiers are molecules with two ends. One end is attracted to water. It's hydrophilic, it loves water, whereas the other end is attracted to the oil. This end is hydrophobic, it really doesn't like water. When an emulsifier is added to a mixture of oil and water, its molecules arrange themselves so that they prevent the oil and water from separating. The mixture has now become an emulsion. Emulsions are either oil in water or water in oil, depending on how much oil and how much water is present. Milk, single and double cream, hollandaise sauce and mayonnaise are all examples of oil in water emulsions. Butter, vegetable fat spread, and vinaigrette salad dressing are all examples of water in oil emulsions.
All right. So if anybody does baking and enjoys to bake, you all know that when the recipe calls for water and oil, it always is going to have what with it?
An egg?
An egg. You can't combine it. So you bake brownies, and I love to bake brownies. You got to have water, oil, and an egg. It's always part of the recipe, just standard. And that creates that emulsification. So for us, we have to add some sort of ingredient that's an emulsifier that will allow the water, okay, so we have a surfactant that allows the water to penetrate, all right? Then we have an emulsifier that allows us to grab a hold of the oil, the sticky substance. So now we're allowing the chemical to work. The water wouldn't do that, right? It's not even going to grab a hold of that oil. So then the next thing we have to do is something called dispersion. Now, dispersion is once we've separated the oil, we've grabbed a hold of it with an emulsifier. This is what keeps the particles away from each other so they don't stick together and redeposit it on another surface. So we have to use a dispersion action. That's part of that thing. So it keeps everything broken apart. So one of the interesting things when you look at some of the cleaning agents, when you put a degreaser, and if you take a little bit of oil, a perfect example, if you were to put just a little bit of motor oil down, and then you put water on it, you'll notice it doesn't do anything. But if I take and use a degreaser, what you'll see the oil do is it'll break apart. So the water has now penetrated that oil. It'll break it apart, and it'll break into little tiny little balls almost, little molecules. And that is the dispersion. And you'll notice they don't stick together or clump together. They're kind of all floating around. That is dispersion. Now, the last part is adsorption. And it states that some of the cleaning chemicals attract soil particles to themselves, allowing the soil to be carried away with the cleaning agent. This action, called absorption, helps to remove soil from pores, cracks, and crevices in the surface. It's a little bit different from absorption, because absorption, we think of it soaking up into it. Adsorption helps it to kind of lift. It penetrates down, and it helps it to lift it up and out. So where is that going to be important? Think about how porous concrete is, right? And you get grease on a concrete, you want to wash it away. You can pressure wash all day, and it's not going to do much. But you put a little bit of degreaser there, that allows us to penetrate. It grabs a hold of the oil, but it also, through absorption, allows it to kind of lift up and get it down into it, lift it up and separate it. So that's where those 4 different chemical cleaning actions all work together. And that's how we create a cleaning product, a degreaser, or different cleaning product that we need.
Excuse me, Dave.
Yep.
Are you showing your PowerPoint?
No, not yet. I'm going to go back into it.
Question, sir.
Yes.
So, water cannot penetrate oil. Is that why they always tell you don't use water on a grease fire?
You know what? I hadn't thought of that. It's a good question. I think that's partially true. I think the reason being it'll cause it to pop, okay? Because grease, when it's on a stove and you put more water on it, it's going to want to pop because it doesn't mix together. So you want to choke it out, and that's why they tell you to use something, I believe it's like baking soda is a great thing to use for a grease fire.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Let's go back over and we'll just kind of make sure we're covering all those. So our chemical cleaning actions, we have the slide about the wetting action, right? It allows water to get under the dirt, as you can see here in the picture. Then the emulsification is that chemical action that enables it to break the oil into smaller particles. And then we mentioned already about surface tension, but dispersion is once that soil is broken up, it keeps it broken up. And then the adsorption is what allows us to get it penetrated down and helps it to stay kind of in suspension so that we can rinse it away. Now, that being said, when we think about cleaning, and especially when we're thinking of cleaning a surface where we have a lot of greases and oils, we've broken apart, we've used this cleaning action where we penetrated it, we've gotten where we grabbed a hold of the soil, and then it's allowing us to rinse it freely. One important thing we have to realize is the stuff that we're removing, those grease and oils and sticky substances, we don't want to wash them down a driveway or wash them down into what will get into rivers and streams, okay? Because this is something that would be harmful to the environment. So anytime we're working with cleaning chemicals and we're cleaning a substance, we want to pull it up. We want to suck it up. We want to wipe it up. We want to do something along those lines. What we don't want to do is flush it into an area that would go out into the rivers or water or streams. So that would be particularly when we're dealing with exterior cleaning is when that's important. An example is most places here in California, you are no longer allowed to pressure wash an area that would go out into the gutters or drains. You have to find a way to recover that solution. Because you think about all the stuff we're rinsing free, that's not stuff that's good for the environment. Plus, we're using chemicals to accomplish that. That's also not good for the environment. So from that standpoint, it needs to go through a treatment process where then they can, in a water treatment plant, remove that. And they will go through a process of basically treating the water that they go through and start to separate everything out. And that's a whole nother world when it comes to water treatment. Things are beyond me. So I one of the things I've learned about this industry, especially since I have friends now that are chemists, I realize how very little I know about cleaning, especially about chemicals. And I teach it. One of the guys who's a good friend of mine at Surtec, he tells me, he says, keep it simple, Dave, because anytime you get too complicated, you're gonna get in over your skis. So, all right.
Dave, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about pressure washing. All right.
Yes.
So once you pressure wash a sidewalk, how will you collect the resin?
So what a lot of companies do when they're pressure washing, they've done one of two things. One, they've utilized equipment that's called spinner tools that will pressure wash and suck up as they're washing, or they will use absorbent socks to direct it into an area where they can recover it, suck it up with a wet dry back or something. And let me be honest, when we're talking about stuff in our home, we're not talking about a large amount. But even that, it's not a good idea to pressure wash our driveways. Okay? If you do pressure wash your driveway, pressure wash it off into the flower beds. Because when we pressure wash it off into the flower beds, it goes through a leaching process. Dirt will help to remove a lot of what's hazardous. And in our homes, it's not nearly as harsh from what we're dealing with. But in some communities, they'll fine you for pressure washing down into the gutters. Stockton has gotten very strict about that because they're so close to the Delta. One of the problems years ago, guys who did professional carpet cleaning, as they were sucking up all that stuff and filling up their tanks on their trucks, they would dump it down the gutters. Well, in Stockton, that goes right out to the Delta. So it's illegal to do that. They were being fined for it, and they would have city personnel go around and monitor that. So it became very commonplace that we don't do that. In the Bay Area, the same is true, because think about where a lot of that water goes. It goes right out into the bay. Now we're dealing with plant life and animal life. So, yeah, the easiest, if you're dealing with your home, pressure wash it out into your flower beds or dirt area, into the grass, so it'll absorb into the soil. It's not going to go out in the street. If you're worried about doing that, then don't do it. Okay. All right. So we mentioned the 4 chemical cleaning actions. There are actually 3 more physical cleaning actions. So it's in addition to those traits of wetting, emulsification, dispersion, and absorption. These 3 physical actions that occur are penetration. So through the wetting action and through the use of these chemicals, we penetrate a surface, right? suspension. It's what allows us to suspend the soil. And then an interesting one is called viscosity. And viscosity has to deal with the thickness of a chemical. For example, if you've ever used a chemical on a wall and you sprayed just a very, like a glass cleaner, for example. If you spray glass cleaner that doesn't have an agent that helps it to stick to the surface, what happens? It runs right down it. So we have to use products that have some viscosity or thickening agents. Perfect example of that is toilet bowl cleaners. If you've ever used a toilet bowl cleaner, you'll notice it's a much thicker chemical than maybe a glass cleaner, right? Or an all-purpose cleaner. So that being said, you want to make sure that you're using the right type of chemical. And from that standpoint, most manufacturers take that into consideration when they build the product. They understand where it's being used. You wouldn't use a very thick product to clean glass. I don't need it to stick a lot. I just need it to have a little bit of cling time because I'm going to wipe it off very quickly. Whereas a toilet bowl cleaner, because I'm dealing with a ring in a toilet, I want to put it on and swab it and let it sit and take all that mineral deposit off. An interesting thing, by the way, about minerals, because minerals like calcium and magnesium that stick to surfaces are so hard, and to remove them takes a little bit of work, they take time to work. So we will talk about how chemicals need time to do their jobs. Different chemicals are going to need different amount of time. Checking on our time. So we're doing good with this. So let me go back. I have a couple more videos that I want to show you guys that will support some of what we've talked about. All right. So we talked about emulsifiers. I'm going to go back to the surface tension one because it's such an important one, mainly because there are so many people who still think all I need is water to clean with. And there is a real challenge to that because water by itself won't work. Now, interesting thing, we will next week be talking about a way, actually we could talk about it now. We have a few minutes that we could talk about this. There is a way to make water more effective in cleaning. And that is, one, we can heat it up with steam, but the other is to change the molecular structure of water, okay? And that is by changing it into what we call aqueous ozone. Nelson, have you heard of this at your school district? You guys are using it throughout the district, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We went from H2 orange to oxygen.
Yep. So what Nelson's describing, for years the district used a hydrogen peroxide based chemical, and hydrogen peroxide is a slightly acidic cleaner, but it works incredibly well. I actually worked for the company that makes that, and Virox was the company that made that, and it was a fantastic multi-purpose cleaner. It was very environmentally friendly because it didn't use harsh solvents, very safe to use, had a pH that was close to neutral. So a great product, a great multi-purpose cleaner. But as a district, Elk Grove wanted to become even more environmentally friendly, safer for people to use. So what they did, they went to a technology called aqueous ozone. Now, what that is, first of all, to understand, remember, water is, what's the chemical compound? H2O, right? 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Hydrogen peroxide is 2 parts hydrogen, 2 parts oxygen. ozone is by its nature O3. Now, ozone exists up in our, what is that called? Help me. Mark, you know what I'm talking about. Atmosphere, right? Yep. So ozone helps to protect us from gases and so forth. It helps us as a planet. Ozone is very natural. And how ozone is typically created is through thunderstorms. So thunderstorms create oxygen in the air. Thunderstorms are really good for our planet because they add oxygen to the planet. They also add nitrogen to the soil. Okay. So ozone, which is created, it's 3 parts oxygen. So it's 3 atoms of oxygen. When we add that O3 into H2O, we have a really oxygenated natural cleaning agent. The problem with that is that the oxygen wants to escape, which is what is good for us in the cleaning, because what oxygen does is oxygen, when it's doing that, has the tendency to go and attack different soils, and as a result, it breaks it free. It has some of those physical capabilities of penetrating and suspending things. It blasts it free. So that's one of the values of a very oxygenated cleaner. And that's what aqueous ozone is it's just basically water that's been extra oxygenated, and it helps us in cleaning. It also helps us in sanitizing, because oxygen is really good at breaking down and attacking the cell wall of different viruses. So from that standpoint, that's why hydrogen peroxide has been used as a natural type of sanitizer for over 100 years. If you ever get a burn and you have to go to a burn unit, they will use hydrogen peroxide to clean off the dead skin cells from that burn. Because 1, it's safe, but number 2, it attacks the dead skin cells and just kills them off so that you don't get an infection. Because that's one of the biggest problems with burns, is you can get an infection. So from that standpoint, aqueous ozone is a way that we can use water to penetrate without having to add a chemical, a surfactant, or a detergent. Aqueous ozone chemicals have no detergents in them. They are simply a water molecule that has been oxygenated through the use of ozone, and that's what creates it. So I'll find a video about that for next week. But I wanted to. What's that?
Can I say something right quick?
Absolutely. Yep.
I like it. Instead of using Windex, it worked better than Windex. It don't leave no squeak or nothing. Once you use it on your window, you don't have to worry about going back over it, drying with a towel, a paper towel. Yeah. You just walk away from it.
You know, it's also, I've seen great results with it with a floor pad on using it in an auto scrubber. A great way to clean floors, because we're getting a mechanical action with the pad and it doesn't leave any residue on the floor. So it's a great floor cleaner. What the challenge is it will not do heavy duty cleaning. You can't use it to get rid of some really heavily greasy surfaces, or more importantly, you absolutely can't use it to get rid of hard water stains. Does nothing for it.
Hey, David?
Yep.
So like if you're cleaning like a restroom, for example, a lot of bacteria in there, are there some chemicals that for example, that you can just spray and walk away?
So yes and no. You can spray and kill germs with a product that are a straight disinfectant. And as we talk about disinfectants next Friday, we'll get into how those work. But I will say this, you always, when you're trying to kill germs or bacteria, should remove the soil first. So it's important to clean first and then disinfect. So from that standpoint, I would never recommend a product that you could go in and just spray down in a restroom and walk away. I would say after you've cleaned the restroom, there's a lot of great disinfectants that are true disinfectants that I absolutely recommend all the time for spraying and then letting it air dry. Does that answer your question, Tony?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. So let's continue. I've got 2 more videos about surface tension that really bring that home. This is also from the Sci Guys. They're going to compare surface tension and utilizing a couple different ingredients. So it's a little fun video. It's our friends, the Sci Guys.
And for Sci Guys, comparing surface tension.
Welcome to Sci Guys. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Teresa. Today we're revisiting surface tension by comparing various liquids.
And we're going to use the stolen penny skill.
We haven't even caught yet. As mentioned in the previous episode, surface tension is a tendency of a liquid to resist external forces such as gravity.
The equipment you're going to need for this episode includes a whole bunch of pennies,
An eyedropper,
an empty bowl to store your liquids in,
food coloring if you want,
and you can use any liquids to compare, but the liquids we're going to be using are rubbing alcohol,
baby oil,
lamp oil,
dish soap,
and a few items from the pantry and fridge. The items we're going to need from the pantry are extra virgin olive oil, honey, corn syrup, vegetable oil, and chocolate syrup.
from the fridge we're going to grab cream, maple syrup. While we're not working with anything hazardous today, it's always a good idea for an apron or lab coat to protect these skills splashes.
To start this experiment off, take your eyedropper and your first liquid. In this case, we're using water with some purple food coloring in it. Fill your eyedropper with your liquid and gently drop 1 drop at a time onto the surface of your penny. Keep track of how many drops it takes before the bubble of liquid bursts. Now let's look at how many drops of liquid it took before each individual liquid's bubble burst. Water's count was 42 drops, and rubbing alcohol had 29. Dish soap took 20. Before I continue on, the other video that's in your classroom that is just a picture of a penny and it's like 8 minutes long. It is that experiment where they just drop one at a time these, and you're amazed at how much water will sit on that penny. Unbelievable how strong water's surface tension is. So look at the comparison. Now, water would hold 42 droplets of water, or the penny did. Look at the comparison of others here. Welcome to Sci Guys. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Teresa. And today we're revisiting surface tension by comparing various liquids.
And we're going to use the stolen penny.
Okay, I think we were past that.
An empty bowl to store items from the pantry and fridge. Corn syrup.
Great. Okay, it's always a good idea.
First liquid, in this case we're using water with some purple food coloring in it. Fill your eyedropper with your liquid and gently drop 1 drop at a time onto the surface of your penny. Keep track of how many drops it takes before the bubble of liquid bursts. Now let's look at how many drops of liquid it took before each individual liquid's bubble burst. Water's count was 42 drops, and rubbing alcohol had 29. Dish soap took 26 drops, cream 39, and olive oil 33. Next to the syrups, corn syrup took 22 drops, honey 25, and maple syrup 20. And finally, we have a few more oils. Lamp oil was 19 drops, baby oil was 24, and vegetable oil was 32. Let's look at this experiment a little closer. The droplet of liquid on our penny contains lots of liquid molecules, and all of these molecules want to stay close together. The force that keeps them within close proximity to each other is known as cohesive force. Cohesion happens between all molecules in a liquid, but because the molecules in the middle of the droplet pull each other equally in all directions, they generally cancel each other out. However, the molecules at the surface of the droplet have air molecules above them, instead of liquid molecules. This causes the cohesive bonds between the molecules at the surface to be much stronger than those in the middle of the droplet. The stronger surface bonds generate a net inward force, pulling the surface molecules toward the middle of the droplet, keeping the surface area of the droplet as low as possible and its molecules close together. This strong inward force causes the molecules on the surface to contract and resist being stretched or pulled apart, creating an almost elastic tension at the liquid surface, which is known as surface tension. Surface tension and its inward force is what gives the droplet its dome-like shape. Gravity presses down on our droplet, and when the surface area is small, the cohesive forces within the droplet are much stronger than gravity, and the droplet is able to hold its shape. The more liquid we add to our droplet, the more molecules are added, and the larger the droplet's size and surface area gets. As the surface area of our droplet increases, the amount of force that gravity exerts on our droplet also increases, causing the cohesive forces inside the liquid to struggle to hold its shape. Eventually, when enough liquid has been added to our droplet, the amount of gravity pushing down on the droplet will overpower the cohesive forces within the liquid, causing the droplet to pop, and its liquid will spill over the edges of the penny. Some liquids have stronger cohesive forces than others. The cohesive forces in water are some of the strongest because of its polarity and its hydrogen bonds. The stronger the cohesive bonds are in the liquid, the larger the droplet will grow before it pops.
That's it for comparing surface tension. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments below and subscribe to future episodes.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
And if you have any questions related to this episode or about science in general, let us know in the comments below or message us on Facebook and we'll try to help you as best possible. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Here at Sci Guys, we're always curious.
All right. So one of the things to just on chemical that I think is important to understand too is how absolutely powerful two elements are that we use all the time in the cleaning world. That is hydrogen and oxygen. When we increase those, when we, like we were talking about aqueous ozone, is more oxygen, right? Hydrogen, that power of hydrogen becomes a factor when we start talking about pH, okay? And that is part of what next week's lesson is. So let's talk about next week and what we're going to cover. Let me go back to our chemistry here. And I'm going to increase the size of this so you guys can see. Okay, first of all, in your classroom, you have the chemistry cleaning. There's about 10 questions for review. Things about PPE, basic rule of mixing chemicals, what are the 7 different types of cleaning agents? We talked about that today. The kinds of soils that can be removed with an acid cleaner, and the 4 different chemical actions. So those are all important things for you guys to review. Next week, we continue this and we'll take it to the next step. Now we understand, or at least have an understanding of how the chemicals work. Now let's talk about how the power of hydrogen affects that through understanding the pH. Because understanding the pH of chemicals is going to help you determine what type of product you should be working with. Now, if you remember, when we talked about this class, I mentioned we're not going to focus on brand names. We're not talking about using Lysol. We're talking about understanding the actual type of chemical. Today we mentioned 7 different ones. We're going to focus specifically on acids and alkalines in our next lesson, because those are the products that have that power of hydrogen, and how that pH scale is going to affect us in determining whether a product is acidic or alkaline. But it's not just the chemical that's acidic or alkaline, it's the soil or the thing that we're cleaning usually has a pH as well. So we have to determine what is the pH of what we're cleaning, and then we recommend a product. Now, the good news is most of this has already been done for us, but for you, you're understanding why we use these products. So that's the purpose of this lesson, is why do we use that? So let's scroll down, we've got. So we'll talk about the pH scale. You're gonna, if you look at your books, there's a really awesome diagram of the pH scale on page 16. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the use of pH test strips, little strips that we can use to be able to determine the pH of a product. We can actually test the chemical and determine what is the pH of that. If anybody works with a swimming pool or as a spa, you test the water to determine the pH level of that. Same concept when we're working with cleaning and of chemicals. So we're going to discuss that. Then we'll also talk about, this is where I told you, on Wednesday, we're going to get in and discuss dilution ratios. So there's a lot of math involved. Wednesday, we will take our time with this lesson, because I want to make sure on dealing with the math that you know how to do the math. On your test, you're going to be asked some questions about how much chemical do I use in this? And you're going to have to be able to figure out the math. Okay? That's why we'll take time to do that. And we're going to work some dilution ratio problems. So that's going to be a lot of what we deal with on Wednesday. And then Friday, we're going to get into disinfection, the different types of disinfectants. And then we'll wrap up talking about hazardous chemicals next week. This sets the groundwork for you as we move into our lessons about how to clean. Because now that you understand which types of products, you'll be able to determine, am I going to use an acid cleaner? Will I use an alkaline cleaner? If, when we're dealing with carpet in lesson number 5, what type of chemical would I use to remove crayon stains or a wine stain? Our book gives you a really awesome diagram that shows you what chemicals to use in that lesson. But in some cases, you're not going to use an acid or alkaline. In some cases, you're going to use a solvent because you're wanting to get rid of a oily substance. So, okay, we've got just a few minutes left for any questions. So I'm going to stop my share here and
I got one quick question, sir.
Yes, sir.
So specifically, what does we discussed? Oh boy. Actually, give me a minute. I need to figure out how I say this.
You're muted, Alex.
I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
I forgot first. I forgot. What specifically would be the last day of this class? There's a
April
employment
14th.
service I need to tell them about. That's why.
April 14th is our last day.
I can't forget.
Yep, no worries.
And
Arkina.
Yeah. I'm asking what date for first lesson test?
We have not received the test. I checked with Therese 2 days ago, so right after our last class, and was informed that the PO has not processed with the district yet, so we don't have the test yet. It's always a challenge with our class, and she reminded me of this after I said something about our testing, because she can't submit for the purchase order until the class list is complete. Because when we submit for testing, we actually have to submit every one of your names to ISSA, because the tests are Mark's test and Arkina's test and Eduardo. Every one of you is assigned your own test, and you are then registered with ISSA. That way, after you've completed your test and you've passed it, you're registered as a certified technician through ISSA. So, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so homework assignment. We have the 10 questions to review. We'll cover those at the beginning of our lesson on Wednesday. Read ahead on the lessons about pH and about dilution ratios. You can read all the way up to right before we start talking about disinfection. So that will be your assignment for us to before we start class on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, we'll cover those lessons and discuss it. So, yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Hey, speaking of dilution ratios, okay, I kind of went ahead and I kind of went through this packet here. The formula for the dilution ratios, I see on the video and on the packet, it says to add the two, divide your gallon, say a gallon, 120 ounces, by say 1:4 ratio 5. But then when I go through some of these problems, half of them, like there's a
it will not match the chart.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, and we'll get into it.
Okay, I didn't want to get into it, but
yeah,
I just want to make sure I was seeing something that I was.
You are not wrong. The chart really simply tells you. Right. How do I say this? It tells you ounces per gallon.
Right.
But one of the challenges, if we're trying to figure how much ounces are in a gallon, how much chemical in comparison, it's going to be off. So we'll do the math, because that very question mark came up in one of my first classes, and I had to learn how to be able to pencil that out and show you guys. So on our class on Wednesday, we will be doing a whiteboard presentation. So I'll be sharing a whiteboard with you, and that should help you guys to be able to see it, and we'll do the math together. Okay.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you, most hilarious thing, coming from working with chemicals and working for chemical manufacturers, I cannot tell you how many sales reps used to get tripped up with some of this stuff, because they would get a call from a customer who would say, okay, tell me again how much chemicals I'm supposed to use in this. But that doesn't make sense. I'm filling a 5-gallon bucket. That doesn't work out. The numbers don't work out. And especially is it a big problem when I'm dealing with larger quantities. Not as big of a challenge in a smaller one, like a 32-ounce bottle, but it's definitely a factor. So, yeah.
Yeah, because on the test, it's there's two answers. One, if you do it this way, 1 to 4, or the other answer is if you only use the 4.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. One's 8 ounces, the other's 6.4.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I know exactly which one. So, good that you caught it, and we will definitely take time to do that one. So,
is there a difference between 1 to 4 and 4 to 1? Is that the same lingo, or there's a difference?
It means two different things.
Okay.
So a ratio, it's one part to the other part, and the ratio, the understanding of ratio, one number represents one part of something, the other represents the other. So, for example, in chemicals, one part chemical to the other part water.
Right.
So,
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mark. I was also looking at that too, and I'm looking at that 1 in 256, and I'm like, what is strong enough that you got to put a drop in it?
Right. Exactly.
Guess what it is?
What?
Disinfectant.
Okay.
I will kid you not. They make disinfectants that are so powerful that it is a half an ounce to a gallon of water.
Wow.
You can't even measure. The easiest way is to use a chemical mixing station because it's so small of a measurement. So, yep. All right. Well, guys, enjoy your weekend. We have a little bit of time before we meet again, so everybody be safe. And then we will see each other on Wednesday. If, as you're going through it, because now that we're getting into a little bit deeper subject matter, if you have questions about stuff, feel free to email me. Or if you think it's something that'll benefit the whole class, put it into the classroom in the stream. You guys are able to post in that stream questions that you have that you think everybody can benefit from. Okay? So feel free to do that.
And Monday, no class?
Monday's no class.
Okay.
Yep, another holiday. February is a month of one-day holidays. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
To read page 16, and I didn't catch the ending.
That would be 22 to page 20.
All right.
Okay.
Up to types, actually up to germ reproduction. We're going to stop there. Actually, let me back up. We'll actually go just up to page 17 because we're going to save disinfection. So you're only reading page 16 and 17 because we're doing a lot of math. So the dilution takes a little bit of time when we start doing that. I dedicate about an hour of the class just to dealing with that part.
I think this second module will take a lot of time to wrap everything together.
Yeah. And if we need some more time, we're good. Above floor goes so fast. So if we have to run into the next week just to review some of the things, we're okay. The above floor section is so basic and easy. It's after dealing with all the chemicals, it's a good chance to just, okay, this is an easy lesson next.
Yeah. Chemical and math. I'm trying to wrap my brains around the math part.
Yeah. Yep. That's the fun stuff. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all on Wednesday.
All right. Y'all have a nice 3 days.
All right, everybody.
All right. See you guys.
Couple of you.
Hello,
Hello, Sherry.
Hi. Oh, Yvonne's one. Oh. Yeah. Yvonne coming? Maybe she's keeping the other ones? I don't know. Looks like there's some confusion. Here comes Nathan.
Sherry,
Yes, Devin.
I found it.
Yay! Good job. You saved yourself from a Friday journal prompt.
too. STI.
Dad, good job.
I can't show mine because of the background.
I did not. So how many people did not find it?
I tried.
Okay, so I posted the journal prompt just because Andrew asked me to, and I didn't know exactly who would need it. So you only need to do journal prompts. Here comes Jonathan. You only need to do that if you can't find your bingo card, okay? So even though I sent it to everyone just in case. Okay, and Stefan couldn't find either. Okay, so you can either get it, I shared it in the classroom, or I have it right here. Hold on. So this is the journal prompt. For those that need it, you can take a picture, you can go into classroom. You're going to probably need to do it in classroom anyway. This is going to be a quick write, okay? Because it's going to be due at the end of class. So it won't be as fancy as some of the ones you've been writing, all right? So it is important to be organized with my work supplies because, give me a reason or two, and I will become more organized by, give me a reason or two. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to stop share. Does anyone want to take a picture of that? Or are you just going to all go to classroom who needs it?
I already read it.
You got it? Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop share, and then someone else is trying to come in. Yvonne.
Is it okay if I take a picture of it real quick?
Yeah. Let me
All
share
right,
it
thanks.
again. Okay. I'm going to share a screen again so you can take a picture.
Thank you.
Share. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's only, how many people do we have? Stefan, Andrew, and who else? And Jordan?
But I'm already writing mine into the notebook thingy you gave us.
Awesome. Okay, so I would like you all to go write it and come back in here by 12:10. Yes, Andrew?
For the ones who are writing the drawing
I'm
prompt,
typing mine.
Okay, yes, Andrew?
can we at least mute ourselves and turn off a camera to do it?
If you would like to do that, you can, or you can rejoin. Okay, so this is probably going to be your fastest journal prompt. All right, so it doesn't have to be extremely neat and tidy. I just want you to answer the questions, okay? And then you come back in and share.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll just turn off my camera.
okay, so make sure you mute or turn off your camera and mute so you're not distracted by us. Okay? All right. Is everyone else ready to play bingo?
Yep.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, let's play a Friday.
I'm ready to have some fun.
Come on.
Oh, Sherry.
Yes.
Before we start, I'm almost finished with my banking.
Good for you. Awesome. Yeah, everyone really got a lot of work done today. I'm very impressed with everyone, which means I know staff is working really hard too. All right, the first number.
John's been helping me out.
Good. I'm so glad. It's a great team, huh? All right, B2.
Yeah, we work well together.
No problem.
B2 was the first one, and I caught this one. G54. Wait a second. Is that right? Yeah, okay, G54. Sorry. I'm a little out of practice. Okay, we have N41. B5. O73. If I'm going too fast for anyone, please let me know. Just trying to make sure you at least get a game in. B8. O75. G55. N40. G51. I-29. O66. I-24. O69. G60. G56. Anybody getting close? Somebody one saying, nope, not yet. B1.
Bingo!
Nathan,
Oh, that's
what are your
surprising.
numbers, Nathan?
I got B1, I-29, N-40, G-60, and the O is 69.
Woo! Round of applause, everyone. That's his prize. Give him good applause.
So this is the power of 69.
All right. Do we want to play again?
Sure.
Sure, why not? Let me just put all these back in here and give it a good turn.
Sure, I am back.
Did you do that good of a job in that few minutes?
Yes.
Do you have at least 2 reasons why it's important?
Yes, I do.
And 2 things you're going to do to make yourself more organized?
Well, you said 2 things for why it's important?
I want 2 of each, please.
Flip.
Bye.
I always
I
feel
will
like
have to admit, that was pretty funny what I just said.
Okay, you're on a little bit of a scold, correct? Get your work done, mister.
they get done that fast. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we need some effort there, please. All
Things
right,
never change.
B12. And we have another B coming around. B3. Oops. N33. Another B. B15. The bees have it. O61. Another B. B10. Okay. Can someone text Stefani and come back in if he's done? Can you do that, John? Oh, do I have to make you? No, anyone can do that, right?
I can text him, Sherry.
Okay, thank you. All right, I-19. First I. Rolly. N37.
Sherry,
Yes.
what was the previous number? My internet connection got unstable.
Well, let me see. I'll just read them all to you.
Okay.
B3, B10, B12, B15, I-19, N33, N37, and O61. So
Okay, so I didn't miss anything. Thank you, Sherry.
you're welcome. I can't remember which one I called last. N35. Our first G of this game. Get ready for it. G52. Another G. G55.
I was gonna say my card is broken or something.
At least you didn't lose it. You'd be out there writing a journal prompt.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No thanks. Yeah. That's okay.
O69. Oh, we might have one. John got one. Yes?
Nope.
No?
I have 2.
Okay. 2 better than none.
Yeah.
G51. No? For John. I got another G for you. G58.
You're counting the wrong ones, Sherry.
I'm so sorry.
Supposed to be in order. Can I tell you which ones to pick?
How about I-22?
Interstate
No.
No. How about B5?
Okay.
That works.
Oh, they both got a B5. That was a good number to call.
I want B4.
I love B4. It's my favorite, but I haven't called it yet. Okay. 41.
Are you?
Hi, Stefan. So, Stefan, did you give two reasons why it's important and 2 things you can do to become more organized?
Oh, wait. Actually, check question.
What's that? What'd you say?
Yes. Let me double check. Yes.
Go check and come back. Yes, Dawn, I said in 41. Oh, Tyler was ahead of me on that. Trying to multitask over here. Come on, lady, come out. There you go. Okay, another B. B11. Still not. What?
Yay.
You got it? Did you get bingo?
No.
Oh,
I
you
got
just-
bingo.
Okay, all
I'll mute myself.
right. You know, it's hard to contain the excitement of a good bingo game. All right, in 44. Andrew. Okay, I don't know what to say to Andrew. I'm gonna ignore that myself. Okay. 65.
Bingo.
All right, Tyler's the man this time. All right, Tyler, what are your numbers?
B5, I-22, N free space.
In what?
Free space, you know, the one in the middle.
Has anyone been using free space?
Yep.
Okay. You're the first one I heard say it. All right, Tyler, go ahead.
And G58 and O65.
And 65. A round of applause for Tyler.
Ooh.
I like that. Or golf clap. Isn't that the golf clap? Oh, this? Or
I think
it's one of the jazz hands.
all right. Let me put all these back in. We have time for more before we hear people's journal prompt. Jordan, you got yours done?
Yes, I sent it to you and John. I did. 2 reasons why you need to be organized and 2 reasons how you can do better at being organized.
Perfect. You even followed the instructions. You were the first one that followed all the instructions. Good job. All right. So we have a little bit more bingo. So I guess you can just chillax while we play. Okay. Stick with us and see all the fun. Because people are having a great time in here. All
That
right.
sounds like a blessing for her.
75. At the very last one. G53. Another G55. Almost over. Everyone can move off. Well, not everyone. John will still be working, I know. Okay, B2. But John, I think you have Monday off, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
A 3-day weekend out of the deal.
Yeah. Did you say B2?
I said, yes, I did.
Okay.
My second favorite.
B-52.
I-24.
Ooh, John, I was gonna say I got that reference.
Yeah, me
Of
too.
course you did. You're the
Mhm.
music man.
Yeah.
He's a music guy for sure.
Sure.
Yep.
I-27. Okay, Stepan, good. Come back in and just hang out for a few while we finish playing, okay? And then we'll go over your journal prompts in a little while. All right, 068. Stepan, I also sent you a Zoom invite with your Alta case manager. So look at your email and you should put that in your daily planner, okay? All right, 065. Sorry. In 45. In 32. Another in for you. In 40. Yvonne, are we doing better this time?
No, my card is broken.
Aw. You think we don't have money on this, huh?
Right.
I-16. O-72. In 35.
I do have pretty bingo chips, though. Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah, nice.
They're glass.
Oh, yeah.
I love glass beads.
Me too.
All right, this O.
Oh, John's got real money.
I've got cute colored little balls here. It's a little bit of fun. Okay, O71, which is green. And B13. Sorry that you two are a little bored there. Just gonna have to hang out for this and maybe one more game, okay? Oh, Stepan, I just emailed it to you today. It's, yeah, you should have gotten your email. If not, I can talk to you about it later, but it'll be during class when we come back. I-30. Oh, we haven't had very many G's. G48. In 44. I'm looking at faces, seeing if people get close. I-17. In 36.
So I guess I'm not going to be playing the lotto this week.
No?
No. My luck is I don't have it.
Did you try with those big jackpots?
Yeah, I did. Just a couple of them, yeah.
I bought a couple too, but I didn't get anywhere close. Boy, some people sure made a lot of money though.
Yeah.
In 31. B11.
Oh.
Oh, I thought he won. Just a heavy sigh.
Yeah.
In 42. This will be our last game, okay? In 42. I-29. All right, where'd Andrew go? Did you come back in, Andrew?
Yes, I did.
Okay, there you are. We're on our last game. I knew you could figure it out. I had faith in you. I-22. G-52. B7. Someone has to be getting close. There's a whole lot of
I'm real close.
on here. A lot of numbers called. G56.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many on this board. I can't believe no one's won. G58. No?
Hot in here?
Nah, it's just you.
Bingo.
Woo!
Oh.
Devin got the bingo.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Devin, tell us your numbers.
B2, I-30, G58, and O-72.
G58, 072. Perfect. All right, round of applause for Devin. Not Nathan, Devin. Good, good. Oh, 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 oh. La, 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 la. All right. All right, come to order. No, we have a few people that would like to share journal prompts with us. Jonathan's still out of here. There's no picture. There you are, Jonathan.
No, he's here.
Okay. All right. So who would like to go first with their journal prompt? Jordan. All right, Jordan, you are all over it. I'm so happy with you right now. And action.
Because you need to have.
Now read the whole thing.
What?
Read the whole thing. It is important.
So I said it's important to be organized because you need to have all your stuff in one place so you can do fun things and I can come to my stuff so I can play games with my class. I can do better with my school stuff and always have your stuff ready for class.
And how could you have it ready for class?
You could have it in one place. Instead of scattering everywhere, you could just have it in one place.
Very smart idea, because you never know, right? Like you might go to work, think you're going to do a certain job for the day, so you only come prepared with that stuff, and your boss goes, hey, I know you're going to do this, but I need you to do that instead. And you're like, I don't have that stuff with me. Then you can't complete the task that your boss asked you to complete, right? So that's why that's important. All right, who would like to go next? All right, I saw Andrew first and I saw Stefan. So Andrew, go ahead. Can you look at us, please? We need eye contact for your delivery.
You can try to do something. You know, can I just read you the answers that I found with you?
I would like you to start with, it is important to be organized with my work supplies because.
It is important to be organized with my work supplies because one, I could need it for a certain task. Then two, I would need it if it's urgent.
You would get it if it was urgent? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, I will become more organized by.
I think this one's funny. I will become more organized by one, buying a file cabinet.
Okay, that is one way to be organized. But is that really going to take? And then go ahead.
2, keeping things nice and clean and organized.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
File
Stefan,
cabinet.
Stefan, go ahead.
I said it's important to be organized because you can get a lot of things done, and it's important to be. The first one. Did y'all hear me?
No, you're freezing.
Can y'all hear me?
Cannot hear. You want to type it in the chat, Stefan?
I'll just type it in.
Okay, go ahead and type it in. Jonathan,
Yes.
you didn't have your bingo card, correct?
He said it's important to be organized.
Go ahead, Stefan. I heard
Yeah, I do.
All right, Stefan, you typing? Okay. So, Jonathan, I know you probably don't have this written, but I need you to answer the questions for me.
It's important to be organized.
All right, we're hearing you, Stefan.
I have a suggestion for him.
And I don't know.
The suggestion is you could turn
I
off
said
his
it's
camera
important
and-
always because you can get a life.
I didn't get it all. I keep hearing it's important to be organized because.
Hey, Stefan, try turning off your camera, then talk. That might improve your.
It's important to be organized.
Okay, because.
Because you can get a lot of things done.
All right. And a second.
It's important to be organized so you can get a lot done.
You okay, Stefan?
I just said why. Because
Hey, Stefan, come on back on.
and
Come on back on camera and type it, please.
I honestly couldn't think of a second reason.
Okay, I need you to think of another one. That was the.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't think of a second reason.
Yvonne or John, could one of you possibly, text with them or something to get, and he needs 2.
Do you want me to call him and then he can be on it?
Yeah,
first?
that would be great because he needs to have 2 reasons, and he's saying he only has 1.
Okay.
Okay.
2.
All right, Jonathan, to you.
Yeah.
You're gonna say this with me, okay? It is important to be organized with my work supplies. Can you say that?
To be organized.
With my work supplies.
Okay.
Hey, go ahead, Stefan.
Okay, Jonathan, hold on a second. Sorry, I'm coming back to you though, okay? All right, Stefan, go ahead.
Oh, I gotta take my headphones off.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Let me turn up the volume. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Stefan.
Oh my god.
Just give it a second. It's lagging a little bit.
Hello.
Oh, Stefan, you want to turn off your?
I was saying.
Turn off your Zoom. Because we're hearing you in both phone and Zoom.
Okay, I'm removing him from Zoom, okay?
Okay. Just talk on the phone, okay? You're doing fine. Yeah, just do what you're doing. You're fine.
Okay, Stefan. You're all right. Take a deep breath. Are you there?
Did you get that?
Go ahead.
I just said it. I said it's important to be organized for the future.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Okay. Can you guys hear him or no?
Yeah, it's important to be organized for the future. Okay.
Mhm.
Because why?
I said I will become more organized by today. Mm-hmm.
By doing what? What steps will you take?
Well, for one, I will make an area for all my things. Mm-hmm. I'll make an area to put all my things in.
Good. And another one, another reason?
And another reason is,
Way.
trying to think of another reason. And another reason is,
All right, Stefan, we can't take the whole class on this. You're supposed to tell me 2 reasons why it's important to be organized and 2 steps you're going to take to become more organized. Okay, so one
step.
You gave us 1 step for how you could be more organized, and that was having an area to have your stuff in, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's another way you could become more organized?
You should make a list. Mm-hmm. A list.
Yeah, a list and check it twice.
Yes.
Okay, so what are 2 reasons why it's important to be organized?
Because if you're more organized for the future, you can get a lot of work done, like assignments or really important jobs ahead of time.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to stress you out there. I know I can have that effect sometimes.
And also whatever reason.
Okay, so I'm going to have Jonathan tell us his reasons now, okay? So, John.
Should I join back into the Zoom or no?
You can come back on the Zoom if you'd like, but I did exit you, so you'll have to come back in.
Okay.
Okay? Sorry about that. Anyway,
Sure.
yes, Clad?
Since you exited him, wouldn't you have to give him the ability to join again? Like how you did with me?
Stefan, are you still there?
Oh, I hung up.
Will you call him back? Tell him that's probably not going to work. Just let him
Yeah, I remember last time you kicked me, and then I wasn't able to come back to the Zoom.
And you know, I wasn't trying to kick you out, Clad.
I know.
I'm like,
That was
okay.
me on my.
I thought maybe if I kicked one of you out, the other one you would still be here, but you left together.
It's because it's on the same account. When you kick one, if you like, say, if I were to come on one device and then there's another, whatever device you kick, it's still on the same account, meaning you basically just kicked me either way.
Yeah, I've been on the other side of that where you were, so this is the first time I've been on the side of it. Okay, Jonathan,
wait.
are you ready?
Wait, yes, I'm ready.
Hold on, Clad has something else. Go ahead, Clad.
Where's Eleanor?
Eleanor, I worked with her for about an hour before this, and she did the prompt and she did her checks, and she's away. So anyway, I gave her permission to not come to this one.
Oh, okay.
But she got all her stuff done because I worked with her on it. Okay. All right. So, Jonathan, are we really here? Okay. I want you to give me 2 reasons why it's important to keep your work organized.
Organized.
Why is it important?
Important.
Why is it important to have your stuff you need for your job?
Oh, for your job.
So let's say you were working in a restaurant and you're supposed to be in your uniform, right? And you came in and you didn't have your badge. Why would that be important?
That's important.
Yeah, why is it important to have your work badge? Can anybody help Jonathan with that?
So that you can get inside.
Yeah, and I saw Jordan's hand. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was going to say what Tyler said, so you can get inside. And also, for, if there's like newcomers, and they don't have their badge yet, you can let them inside too.
Okay.
Well, also because it looks unprofessional when you don't have your badge when you work somewhere.
Right, and especially if you're working with the public, right? How could they know who you are, and how could they know that you work there?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that it's an identification thing. It's not just how you get in, but also to let someone know that you actually work there and you're not some creepy imposter dude.
Especially at Kaiser, when we're working in those back rooms of the emergency rooms and things like that, they better be able to see that you have access to be there, or security can take you out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan, I'm going to ask you one more thing. What can you do to be more organized?
Be more organized.
Yeah, how can you be more organized?
Jonathan, it has to do with your stuff. What are you going to do with your stuff?
Oh, wait, clean it. Yeah, clean.
Right? You want to clean it, but you also want to... Come on, Jonathan. I know you know the answer, buddy.
I know.
What do you do with a uniform when you need to wear it the next day? You have it all...
Oh, wrinkled?
No, not wrinkled, but...
Oh, messy? Oh.
Not messy, but it's all in one...
area?
Yay!
There you go. Good job, Jonathan. Woo!
That's kudos to Jonathan and Nathan. Good job.
Yeah, good job getting that out of him, Nathan.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have 10 minutes left of this Friday. Would anyone like to talk about anything?
Guess not.
That's a good question.
Stefan is on here. Stefan, do you want to say something?
Well, like I said, I'm having a friend over, so hopefully that goes well. And I still play Sea of Thieves from time to time.
You're doing some of that this week, huh?
Well, I haven't been doing it this week because I've been busy with other things. But I play it on the weekends.
Good. Okay.
I was thinking of
Yes, class?
I was thinking of cleaning my room.
That would be a fabulous idea.
Yeah, because not exactly the cleanest thing to look at.
And it might help you become more
Organized. There's that word again.
Word of the day. Organized.
Organization.
Yep. That way I can have everything in one place, so I never have to worry about, oh, where's this? Where's that? Why can't I find this? Where did I leave that?
Hey, do you all feel confident still on the RT bus to get back to class?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Because like it was funny because that was kind of one of the jokes going around my house right now is so Nathan, when you go back to school, are you sure you will remember to get off at the right stops? I was like, oh gosh, I hope so. Imagine if I go back to school and then first thing that Miss Sherry gets from me is, Miss Sherry, I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, jeez.
I have a lot of faith in you, Nathan, but I have a lot of faith in all of you. But if you did happen to get lost, that's the exact right thing to do, right?
Yes.
Call me. We'll figure it out, and then you probably have to take the little walk of shame into the classroom, right?
Head hanging low.
That's always disappointing.
What happened to you? I kind of got lost.
Do y'all feel pretty good about that?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
So we're switched up a bit in our teams, I believe, from last time, aren't we? Are we all the same?
What's different?
What's
I
the
think for me, I think it's me and Tyler are like doing like 2 days, right, Tyler?
Yeah, I think Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 days, but I'm Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so do the people that you were working with in your team change any? So for example, Nathan, Devin, Stefan, Sam, Jonathan, and Jordan are all Monday, Tuesday. Did you work with the same people before? In person?
I do remember Stefan. Sam was also there. I think Jordan was there, and that's all I can remember so far. Oh, Andrew was there for a while too.
Okay, but you weren't with Devin?
Oh, Devin was
I
there.
think so. Yeah, I think Devin was there.
That's
So
really
was Tyler.
to me.
The only person that changed was Tyler.
Okay. And then the other group, did that pretty much stay the same with Clad, Andrew, Tyler, Royce, Jonathan, and Jordan? It's a Jonathan and Jordan show.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Woo! Classroom.
Yeah.
You're doing it 4 days a week.
Yeah. There were no changes.
Literally.
Keep Jordan for 4 days a week. Woohoo. That means I don't have to change my schedule either.
Class for a while, so that'll be
But Miss Sherry, when I actually join John Stein, then that means he can come like 2 days, only 2 days, because then so Jordan can only come 2 days, and then she could take a break and go online when John is with me, and then when I go, he could be there with Jordan.
Well,
So
I think
now he only has to do 2 days instead of all 4 days.
Well, if you guys were on the same, like if you guys were there at the same time, I would still be able to claim your hours for that. It would just be I would zero out one of you guys and still, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's kind of
I
complicated.
think so. Because
I would still get paid for being with you, but I would still be claiming hours for both of you guys.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the idea is, I mean, he's not a one-on-one. He does need to be where one of you is, but it doesn't mean that you two cannot exist and participate if he isn't
Yeah.
sitting by your side.
It's better if you guys are at the same time. It just makes more sense.
Yeah, so part of that, and we'll figure it out. I'll figure out schedules over break. But like Yvonne, I know we're going to have to do a little more Eleanor than I was thinking, because she has to get her minimum amount of minutes a day. But I also thought with John working with Nathan that like when you have him those days that John could probably do the Nathan part. But I'll play with all that stuff over break.
And yeah, if they're all in the same room, I can help other students too, as long as they're with me in the room, Jordan and Nathan. It's totally okay for me to help Eleanor as well. So, oh, okay.
I know that. I know how this game plays out.
All right.
Although, actually, that's the scary part, is that it's actually coming up a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah, it should be we should be all square by about the time we start back after break. So, I don't know, that being said, because I only have 6 in class a day, Nathan, how do you feel about coming 4 days?
I could do 4 days.
That still only gives us 7. So we could do 6 tables that are up front, and we could do the little side one and back where Sam was sitting.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about that for a while, and then I think that's why I brought that up, was because I was about like set on going to 2, so I was just like, okay, so I'm going to 2 days a week. Okay, cool, sweet. And then I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be going to go join John's side very soon, a lot sooner than I thought. So that could actually change.
Does anyone feel robbed that they're not getting 4 days a week? No?
No, everybody's just like, I'm just doing 2 days because I have to.
It's not a big deal to me.
I think it's, I don't know. I would kind of, if I was a student that was at home this much, I'd be going, yeah, I want to go back. But I understand both sides of things here. And I know, Royce, you're good with your 2 days because this is coming out for you, huh? So that's a big step.
Wait, Sherry, I'm confused now. So if Nathan's going 4 days a week too, and I'm going 4 days a week?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't having to be like staring at a computer for like a whole
You're going to do 4 days, but I'm going to add Nathan to the Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
And that still keeps us safe. Seven students is a great number to have in class. I just don't feel right now that we should put many more than that in there.
Okay, so instead of going 2 days, I'm now going all 4 days then to the classroom.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so now I got to get that in my head because now I'm just like, okay, so I only have to wake up early on Monday and Tuesday. Now I have to do all 4 days. Okay, I got it now.
So now you do get up 4 days early,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Jonathan just said his famous word. Oh, God.
So Jonathan, you ready to get back on the bus? Okay. Well, that's the end of our time. Any final thoughts?
Have a nice vacation.
Well, other than have a good weekend vacation, guys, and we'll see you back in the classroom.
All right.
Stefan said, I hope you have a good day, everyone.
Bye, Stefan.
Bye, Stefan. Bye, everyone. Bye, Stefan.
Royce, I'll be seeing you sometime next week.
See you guys.
Sherry.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.